Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Sunday so far. Today is going to be a very special show, and I'm glad that you guys were able to attend. I know a lot of people are just getting on. These numbers are going to continue to grow. I really want you guys to respect everyone that's on the panel, even if you don't agree with what they are saying or you don't believe what they're saying. Know that I've spoken to everyone on this panel individually by phone. So I know that they are who they are saying that they appear to be. And I want you to know that they've given me information to just corroborate that what they're saying to me is true. So I want you guys to know that I don't speak to trolls. I don't just throw information out there. I make sure I verify that everybody's telling me what I already know to be true, right? So once we're done talking to a couple of people who cannot stay on too long, we will continue the rest of the show. It won't be too long of a show. Hopefully, we can keep this show very, very quick today, okay? I am going to first introduce everybody on the panel so you guys know exactly who is who. And then I'm going to first speak to Dr. Steve, okay? So, everyone, you can take yourself off mute. And I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself to the chat. Go ahead, you guys. We'll start with we can start with Dr. Steve.
Hi guys, good afternoon. Or it
Thank you,
was
sir. And
evening
then
from.
it's evening where you are, guys. I also want to remind you that where Dr. Steve is, he is on a different time zone. So thank you, Dr. Steve, for your intro. And Rachel.
Hi, everybody. I am Rachel, former friend, associate of her, and I'm just kind of on here to attest to her character, answer any questions you might have, anybody might have, respectfully, of course. Once again, as I said, I'm not here to degrade her or disrespect her, defame her in any type of way. So, yeah.
Thank you, Miss Rachel. And lastly, Miss Shauna. Go ahead, hon.
Hi, my name is Shauna. I don't have a label, but I'm a researcher and started digging. Just disturbed by some of the things that I've uncovered.
Thank you so much, Miss Shauna. So, Shauna and Rachel, you guys can mute yourself. I'm going to talk to Dr. Steve first because I know he has to be in bed. It's late over there, so I want to respect his time. So, again, guys, this is you can call him Steve, but he does work very hard, and what he does for a living is really none of your concern. Just know that this man has earned his right to be where he is today. So Dr. Steve, I first want you to kind of give everybody an idea of how you know the individual in question, and then I will ask you a few questions before you have to get off. Go ahead, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone. I met last year, and we became close at some point. Yeah, I flew her back to Nigeria in January this year. I got in person again, and then after which, before she left Nigeria, got engaged. She went back to America, and we were still in contact until I think March or April this year. We fell out, and we weren't talking terms anymore. But we let her go back, and we were still talking. But the synergy wasn't there anymore because I lost interest at some point due to some behaviors which I found very irrational, and it wasn't something I was really called out for. So, but then we've been talking for a while now. Not until I spoke to Sean recently, and I heard about this incident. Matter of fact, she sent me some of the videos, but I wasn't. I thought it was something that she had nothing to do about. But on realizing after speaking to Sean, I discovered that there was a lot of things hidden that she wasn't telling me about. I already responded to all the allegations as well as the tags on Facebook or Instagram. Or lately, because of the incidents keep coming or reoccurring, and clear the air regarding this.
Okay, so Dr. Steve, before you continue, we're getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if your YouTube is loud. It looks like you're on here twice as well. So one of your profiles I have to take off so that we can hear you clear. But what he was saying to you guys is that him and the individual fell out in April. They were at one point engaged. Some things have been brought to his attention in regard to her character and her behavior, and that kind of turned him off. So if you guys weren't able to hear him clear, let's see if we can fix that. Dr. Steve, you're on here twice, so can you speak so I can see which one is moving?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. Hold on. This one. Hold on. Let me remove one of these out. Okay, Dr. Steve, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, can everybody hear Dr. Steve loud and clear?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the first thing I want to ask you, Dr. Steve,
All right.
have you seen with your own two eyes the individual in question get out of line when she was drinking at one point?
Well, she has a different personality when she's intoxicated.
Okay, has this different personality led to her being violent at any time when she was ever in your presence?
Yeah. On one
Okay,
occasion.
one occasion. Do you feel comfortable telling us that occasion?
Yeah, she got into an argument with my friend's girlfriend, and result to fighting. I don't know.
And you said that she was intoxicated and got into it with one of your friends' girlfriend.
My
Is
friend's
that
girlfriend.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it physical?
Yeah, it was physical.
Okay. And did she say anything to you after that happened?
Matter of fact, that night I left her at home and I went out. So I got back the next morning and she was apologizing that it was the alcohol and all that. When she went back to America, she said she actually stopped drinking. I commended her for that. Fortunately, I didn't know that she was going back to it.
Okay. So you said that she told you that she would stop drinking, and when she got back
Yeah.
to America, she told you that she was not drinking anymore. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay. Now I sent you a lot of proof showing you that since she has been back in America, she's been arrested and she's been charged with many offenses that dealt with her being intoxicated. How does that make you see her now, knowing that she did not put down the bottle?
Yeah, she's not true to her words. That's what that means.
Okay, hold on, Dr. Steve. We can't hear you. Can you repeat that?
I think then that means she's not true to her words.
Okay, so you said that means that she's not true to her words.
Yeah, she's an adult. She has a liberty to do whatever she wanted. My suggestion is, if you're gonna drink, you should drink to moderation, right? But then when it goes out of context, that doesn't make sense.
Okay, so Dr. Steve, another thing that I want to ask you,
Yeah.
since you guys are no longer engaged, has the individual given you back your engagement ring? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Have you this year sent the individual money at any time? We can't hear you,
Can you
sir.
take that again?
Have you sent the individual money, like sent her money to get herself stuff at any time?
No, not after the engagement. No, I haven't.
You have not sent her any money since the engagement has been called off.
Yeah, because I was supposed to send out $6,000 for I think a mortgage some time ago. Or because I didn't send that money, that was the reason why we fell out.
Okay. So have you spoken to this individual up until the incident happening this month? Yes or no?
Yeah, she sent me those videos when that incident happened. I spoke to her. Yeah, sympathized with her situation. But I've been pretty busy lately, so not really had in-depth discussions with her concerning what happened. But I read all the stories, saw the videos as well, and I meant to have a call with her today. That was 2 days ago, but I still got busy because I was involved with USPH public health inspections, and so well, I haven't really spoken to her about the incident, but I watch all those videos and everything.
Okay, gotcha. Now, you said you've been watching the videos and seeing things like that. The night that the individual went out and was allegedly assaulted with the brick, were you aware that she was out that night? Yes or no?
No, I wasn't aware.
Okay. Did she tell you at any time that she was out with friends around that time?
No, But normally she would tell me if she's going out with friends.
Okay.
But on
Now,
that particular occasion, I wasn't informed.
okay. So, let me ask you this: do you know what this individual does for a living? Yes or no?
Well, she told me she was a teacher.
She told you she what?
She was a teacher.
Okay. So this individual told you that she was a teacher teaching at the university.
Yeah, correct.
Did you have any proof of that, sir?
No, I don't.
Okay. And you said you were aware that she did have, or that she does have a son, correct? We can't hear you, sir.
That is correct.
Correct. Okay. And you were willing to take care of her and her son. Is that correct? At one point?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now that I've shown you all the proof,
Mhm.
proving that this incident that happened, she's lying about it. How do you now feel about this individual, sir?
I was disappointed because I believe that we should be truthful, sincere in all our actions at every point in time. Unfortunately, she hasn't been very truthful to me. And then actions have not been in tandem with what she says.
Okay. And a lot of people in the chat, they want to know, what is your race? Are you Nigerian?
Proudly Nigerian.
Okay, proud. Okay, gotcha. And what else did you tell me today that you want people to know about? Always staying true to yourself. What are you?
Well, I do not intend to ride on Roda, but the truth is, I'm not. I don't want to collaborate with any of whatever's going on with her. I'm hoping that someday she's gonna call me to tell me the truth,
Okay,
and maybe we could patch it up from there. But then,
okay. So
until
you,
then, she needs to come clean.
Dr. Steve, is it true that you are a Freemason? Is that correct?
A proud Freemason,
And a part of being a Freemason is you have to be honest, correct?
of course.
Okay. So you told me that a second ago. You said that once you guys have a talk, you'll be able to patch it up. So even after everything that I showed you and everything that you're seeing, you would still be friends with this individual?
But our friendship is dependent on several factors. One is if she's been honest about the situation, because obviously there's something which doesn't add up to me. So if she's been honest about it, I'm not consider our friendship. Right now, it's in the line because I need to know the truth.
Okay, you said you need to know the truth. So
Yeah.
again, I've shown you the truth that this individual is lying about being attacked by a black man with a brick. You've also established her character, that you've seen her drink and put her hands in another woman. So what I'm saying is, you want her to tell you from her own mouth that she is a professional scammer, and that will be the ending of your friendship with her. Is that what you're saying,
At
sir?
the moment, I'll tell you. At the, what I'm saying is that we cannot have a sustainable relationship at the moment. We have contact. We keep in touch once in a while, but we cannot have a sustainable relationship. Then I'm not willing to continue further that relationship, not being accountable for our actions, not being truthful.
Okay, gotcha. So I just want you to clear the air. You are in no way affiliated with the scams that this woman is running. Is that true?
Hell no, I do not have a hand in that.
Okay. Have you seen this behavior before, where she tried to scam somebody?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So you told me she hasn't sent back the ring.
Yeah, she hasn't sent that back.
Okay. So if she's not sending you back the ring, what would that say about her character? That she either kept it or pawned it. Is that correct?
Yeah,
So that right there, Dr. Steve, is proof that this woman likes to scam and hurt people.
seems like so.
Now, you did tell us earlier that you're supposed to still talk to her about this incident. When are you supposed to be talking to this individual?
Well, I was looking at doing that today. Like I told you, my work sometimes get pretty hectic, and not really had the opportunity to have these calls with her because of the time zone differences. However, I'll make an effort to make sure I have conversations with her today regarding this.
Okay. So when you have that conversation with her, I know time zone difference. I get that. When you do have this conversation with this individual, can you please keep us in the loop on how that went? What I'm
Sure.
trying to do for you, Dr. Steve, is I know that you have come a long way. But when you're continuing to associate yourself with someone who's known to hurt people and lie on people and disrespect people, it then makes people think that you are encouraging and accepting the behavior. So then the attacks will come your way. So whether she tells you or not, which I don't think she's gonna actually admit to being a professional scammer, I want you to be careful who you keep in your circle, because if she's hurt other people before the same way, she will do it to you as well. Is there anything else you want to tell anyone, Dr. Steve, that we don't know already?
Well, the truth is, I'm actually considering blocking out WhatsApp or social media because the relationship or friendship with her it's not a good one, and I do not want to be around any toxic person with toxic personality.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't say I'm a perfect man, but I try to do things just right and fair at every point in time in my life and be accountable for my actions. But unfortunately, I found myself in this relationship previously, and I think it's a time to call it a quit because it's not healthy for me at all.
Understood. Now I know you told me this today, but I want people to hear this. Is it true that you told me that in the event that they see that she made this up and the police decide to file charges, you fully support the police holding her accountable? Is that correct?
Oh, that is correct. This is my
Okay,
position. I should be accountable for our action.
gotcha. And I know that you also mentioned accountability. So, Dr. Steve, was there anything else you wanted to say?
I think that's all from me.
I
Okay,
have a question. I'm so sorry. I
okay,
love
go ahead, hon.
doctors. I
Go ahead.
love doctors.
You can ask him a question before he gets off. Go ahead, hon.
Okay. I just love Dr. Steve and I support him. I just have a question. What was her excuse? I know that we were trying to get your pictures taken off and have her change the status that she's engaged to you. What was her excuse for not taking your pictures down when you asked?
I spoke to her. Matter of fact, sent her messages as well. She said she didn't have access to those accounts, and maybe that's the reason why she was unable to take it down.
Okay, so guys, if you guys heard what Shauna asked him, Dr. Steve did tell her to take down the pictures of him and her when she released that they were engaged. Um, the individual, Rhoda, told Dr. Steve that she cannot do that because she does not have access to her Facebook. But we know that she has been posting on her Facebook the past few days. So, Dr. Steve, what Shauna was trying to was what she was trying to show you is that she lied to you right there. She's not only been posting on that Facebook, but she's also inboxing people that she's going to sue them under that role page. She's also posting on her Instagram actively as well. I've been getting those screenshots. So now that you know that she does use that page, how do you feel now?
It's surprising to me because I was believing that her page was actually not being accessible, but it seems it's actually accessible.
Okay. So again, your best bet would be to Shauna. I don't know if she hasn't blocked. Does she have you blocked, Dr. Steve? Are you able to see the page?
Yeah, I'm right on her page right now.
Okay, go to the most recent post. You will see that she has been communicating with people online and she is posting. I would advise you to comment, please remove the pictures of me. Or you can go back to her page from February and then go ahead and report the photo because it is on.
I did report the photo already, but it hasn't been taken down.
It hasn't been taken down. Okay, so then if that is the case, you might have to keep reporting that photo and saying that you're in it and you didn't give permission, or they have different things you can say for the reason. So I would say keep reporting it, or what you need to do on that most recent post, tag her and say, please remove the photo of you and I. We are no longer engaged. If you put that, everyone's gonna see it and know that she's just keeping it on there. So you might have to just make that comment so that everyone can see that you have no affiliation. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Miss
And
Shauna, did you have
yeah, I
anything
do
else,
have,
hon? Go ahead,
yeah,
boo.
I do have one other question that I've just been grinding my gears. When we spoke, Dr. Steve, we were talking about her coming back out to visit you um, before the incident took place. Was that, did she prompt that? Did she want to come out and see you before the incident, or were you contemplating bringing her back out? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we spoke about visit me at work. Yeah, I wanted to bring her back to visit me at work, but I didn't know that. Hello?
Dr. Steve, you're breaking up. Dr. Steve, you're breaking up again. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead now.
All right, so I was saying that the intention was to bring her back to work, but unfortunately, that would not be happening anytime soon.
Okay, so you are not going to bring her back out there again, correct?
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Okay. And again, I just want to clarify. You're telling me that the engagement between you and Rhoda is no longer as of today. Is that correct?
very correct.
And are you guys still boyfriend and girlfriend? Yes or no?
That is not a situation at the moment.
Okay. So right now you guys are just friend, not even friends, but acquaintances. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's the best word for it.
Okay. And you said that you are supposed to be talking to her soon, correct?
But yeah, I'll do that today.
Okay. And then you'll get back to me on how that went.
Yeah,
I, I
Now,
absolutely.
have
now,
one
now,
other
hold on,
question.
Miss Shauna. Hold on, Miss
Okay.
Shauna. So, Dr. Steve, if she tells you that everything we're saying is a lie, and the police is lying, the everybody's lying, are you? What's going to happen then if she tells you that everybody's lying and she's telling the truth?
But I've seen the evidence is presented, and I could tell that there's a whole lot going on that she's not being truthful about. So I don't even need to convince me about this.
Okay, go ahead, Shauna.
I'm sorry. I just have one other question. Um, According to the GoFundMe, there was a friend named Kira Davis that was there or helped her put the GoFundMe. Do you know of this Kira Davis or any of her friends, or has she ever sent you any pictures of her and her friends?
Hi, Shana, I didn't hear that clearly. Can you repeat that again?
Yes. There was a young lady that was helping her or helped her do her GoFundMe by the name of Kiera Davis. Do you know who this Kiera Davis is? Do you know any of her friends, or has she sent you any pictures of her friends?
Yeah, I know some of our friends. I know Rukia, but I don't know this Davies, this Miss Davies. I have no idea who she is.
Okay, so he said he has no idea who Kiara Davis is. Okay, so Dr. Steve, we want to say thank you for your time. It was we had a lot of technical issues, and I know it's because you're way out of in a different area than we are, and I know it's like almost 10 p.m. out there. So again, I want to say thank you for your time. And once you do talk to Rhoda today or tomorrow, whenever it is, please get back to me on that, and we can go from there and maybe do a part two. So I want to say again, thank you for your time, and I do hope you have a great rest of your night. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks, Dr. Steve.
You're welcome, Shana.
Okay, you guys. So we also have Rachel. So to anyone who is familiar with who Rachel is, she was friends with Rhoda at one point. She's not here to bash Rhoda. She's only going to give you an account of how she saw Rhoda when they were together, when they were around each other. If you the heading, the background, that picture, that is Rachel in the picture with her. So Rachel, I want to go ahead and allow you to introduce yourself and give us a little background about how you know Rhoda. Go ahead, hun.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. So we met in, my name is Rachel. We met initially in Chicago in about 2009, 2010, 2010. I came up here to Minnesota. When I met her, she was a ball of energy. She was, I didn't see anything I guess, negative about her. I was very codependent on her. I met her when I was barely 21 years old. I'm now 34. When I first met her, I didn't all the stuff that y'all are seeing online where she's, charged with. I'm not attesting to any of that because I don't know about any of that. But what I will tell you, when she gets, and we've partied in Minnesota, in Detroit, in Chicago. We've been to a lot of parties. And this was 2010 to 2013, so years ago. But she can be very, very mean when she gets drunk. I don't care who you are. She will spit on you. She's never spit on me or put her hands on me, but I've been a fat bitch. Anytime she gets mad at you or you don't agree with what she's saying. And in the beginning, I took it, I accepted it. I was, again, very codependent on her. I stayed with her when I first got here. I had nowhere to go, and she will definitely remind people that I was homeless and all of that. But I have nothing, I have nothing to hide because I'm content with who I am. I also want to let you all know that this is the largest population of Somalis in Minnesota. In the United States, we have the largest population. So not only have I been around her, I've been around her community heavily. These, unfortunately, not all of them are people who, a lot of them suffer from severe mental health issues that they do not believe in getting addressed, and or substance abuse, alcoholism. Um, and that's something they have to figure out for themselves. But for people saying that, oh, well, have you reached out to her, it would be like talking to a brick wall. We had an incident in 2020 where we went out. We hadn't seen each other in a few years. We were still cordial online, so this was 3 years ago. So let's flash back to 2020. She comes to Minnesota. We hang out, go to a few clubs, and we go out to 7 one night. And the minute we get to the door, I said, oh, I know it's gonna be a night tonight. There was a young lady at the door, African American woman, and her boyfriend, her man. We get to the door, and Rhoda tries to sashay to the front, and the guy tells me, "Oh, hey, Queen, we're standing here." So here's Rhoda. "Oh no, my queen, we would never try to cut in front of you." Very, sarcastic, very arrogant. I said, "Okay, let's see how this night's go in," and it ended. I had to come back out to the car to get my phone. So everything that happened on the inside, I didn't see, I couldn't witness. But this girl was basically fighting everybody in the crowd. She texted me, "You fat bitch, I hate you. We're no longer friends." I'm like, "What is she talking about?" I call her. She's like, "I'm in front of First Ave. Come and get me." And I'm rolling around the block trying to go get her. Mind you, it's the pandemic and it's all this mayhem outside. And I say, this girl must be drunk again. I didn't think too much of it, but she got on, and I sent Shannon the videos and a few other people. She got on her Instagram, and y'all beat me up. And I go in front of the club, and it's about probably 100 people out there. And I go, "Did y'all see a Somali girl in the leopard print catsuit?" "Yeah, that B is the reason we can't get in. She was trying to fight everybody in the crowd." I said, "Oh boy." I knew it was a scene. So from that point on, like the next day, we talked. She calls me. We're in this texting war, and she had made a comment like between that night and between the next morning. And I asked her, I said, "Well, do you tell Black women how you really feel about them, or do you just wait until you're drunk to say that?" So she's made references and comments about Black women's hair being nappy and their wigs being crooked and stuff. I'm like, "I know you don't say that to those girls' faces." So the next morning, we're in this kind of back and forth. I'm asking her for an apology. She's asking for a video that I took of her, basically her intellectual property, quote unquote. "Oh, that's my intellectual property. It's for my thesis or my theory for school," or whatever it was she was writing. And I said, "This girl don't even take accountability and realize how wrong she was for saying what she said to me." So I, left it alone. We didn't speak for probably about a year and a half. Next thing I know, I get a subpoena to my door. I said, "Oh, I'm getting subpoena. What's this for?" And she used my name when she was suing 7 nightclub. And I said, well, she don't even like me. What's she using my name for? And I called her. We weren't Facebook friends. I didn't have her number, but I called her on video, and she was, oh, I'm sorry. I just wasn't in the right headspace at the time to tell you, and now I'm doing this or I'm doing that, and I was just so to a point where I knew that her apology wasn't sincere, but my question was, if I'm all these kind of fat bees, you don't like me, why would you subpoena me? But again, if she knows that, people are weaklings, or if she knows you're a PUSSY, that's one of her favorite words, like, she will try to, use that, because she's very manipulative. She can be. And I don't know if you saw the messages I sent you that her sister sent me. Like, these are people who, I don't believe that there's help for them. I don't believe that there is help for Rhoda. I don't believe that there is, um, she's in denial about her mental health, about her substance abuse, alcoholism. She's in denial about it. So I hope nothing happens to her. I Other people I know are probably going to come forward at some point in time, whether it's now or whether it's later. And some people are going to really let her have it. Like, I'm trying to still be decent and respectful about it. I don't have any type of relationship with her, any type of friendship with her. We're not friends on any type of platforms. But I don't wish nothing bad on her. Even though her and her family don't like me, I don't wish nothing bad on her. But with her mouth and with the way that she carries herself and the way that she acts, it's only a matter of time before she's in the right place and meet the right one. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I want to say thank you for everything that you just shared. You do have some people asking you a ton of questions. The first thing I wanted to address was the first comment I saw from Water Sniper. He said, "Oh, is this the biracial friend with the white father who claims herself to be a black woman?" Uh, Water Sniper, I think that's a bit disrespectful, and I did tell you guys to please respect everybody on my panel. And even if her father is white, her mother is black. So we're not going to sit up here and act like she did not come from a black woman, because she did. So since you said that, I need you to say it with your chest. You can get on this panel or ask her in the comments the question you want to ask her. But what does her race have to do with it? Do you want to address that, Rachel?
I do, and I'm reading the comments as well. That's probably somebody that Rhoda knows. I'll just tell you that Rhoda's favorite thing to do is to gatekeep my blackness, and try to tell me, because I have a white father, that diminishes me in some type of way from being a black woman. My mother was born in Birmingham, Alabama, a black woman, a foundational black American woman. Sure, I have a white father, but see, unlike a lot of Somali people, and unlike her, I don't go around, I'm mixed, I'm biracial, I'm mixed, I'm biracial. I tell people I'm black because I know that there's a stigma attached to being biracial and having a white dad. I love my dad to death, but I identify the way I identify because that's who I am. So I don't pick and choose sides. 10, 12 years ago, sure, I made comments, mixed girls winning, light skinned girls winning, but I had to be brought back down to place, like, that's, it was very questionable behavior on my part. But again, as you grow older, you're supposed to mature. You're not supposed to get stupider.
I heard that.
So
I
yeah.
I
also
would like to double down on that to the
Okay.
person who made that comment.
Go ahead, Miss Shauna.
At the end of the day, mixed or not, like she said, her mother's from Alabama. She's a foundational Black American. Per se, if reparations was to come around, she'll get it, but Rhoda won't. But Rhoda's out here disrespecting reparations.
Mm, thank you for that, Miss Shauna, for clarifying that. Miss Rachel, I just pinned another comment. If you want to go ahead and read it, this is to you.
Let me see.
Can you
Right.
see it?
Yes, she has hey, Somali against Pan Africanism. Yes. Jade Adun, nappy headed, NIGGA. Oh, absolutely. That was actually the first that was the first Somali term I heard, and I learned that from her.
Mm,
Has referred to FBA people as Adun or Jareer. Yeah, she has.
okay, so let me ask you a question, Rachel. How long did you live with Rhoda?
About maybe 3 or 4 months.
Okay, in
Quite.
the 3 or 4 months, did you ever witness her to date another woman?
No, I did not.
Did she speak highly on the trans community when you were in her presence?
Um, No, not from 2010 to 2013. That wasn't even as prevalent as it is now. So no.
Okay, so this new person that she is saying that it's okay for women to love another women. Is that something that is new to you? Or does this happen a lot in that community where they like each other as well and they just do not like men?
That's very new to me. I think that that's just something that she does to be trendy, but it's not uncommon for women in that community to, I guess, be attracted to other women. I've never known her to date another woman or be with another woman or anything, but I mean, because unfortunately a lot of Somali men in that community are so degrading and disrespectful towards the women, it's not uncommon for them to want to be with each other. But I've never seen her be with a woman, so I can't speak on that.
Okay. And my next question to you is, do you refer to her today as your friend still? Is
I,
she any type of friend to you?
she is not. I would refer to her more as a former associate or an ex-friend, just because I know that the friendship cannot be rebuilt. People had always told me that girl was never your friend. That girl was never your friend. But again, as I said, when I first met her, I was homeless. I was very codependent. So, you know, my experience was different 12, 13 years ago.
Now, you did say that you were around her when that first incident broke out in Minnesota, correct?
Correct.
Now, I want you to say this again because just in case somebody heard you. On that video, she said some niggas jumped her.
Correct.
Did she get jumped by men or was this in fact women that she fought?
It was actually women, and it was actually a female security guard. One of them was a female security guard who jumped on her.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because in that first GoFundMe, it said security. She was hurt by security. So that tells me that you're telling the truth here. Now, when that GoFundMe was generated for her, were you aware of that GoFundMe that they were trying to raise 5,000 for her?
I was, and when I first saw it, you talking about from 2020, correct?
Correct.
When I first saw that, I said, "This girl." I said, raising money for what?" And I saw, because again, we had several mutual friends, and the Somali community in Minnesota is very close knit. I see one of the girls sharing it, and it's on my cousin's page, on her cousin's page. I said, "Wait a minute." And I called the girl and I said, "This ain't what happened." And the other woman, then both of these girls are Somali too, and they weren't there that night. But I basically told my account of the story, and it matched with one of the guys in the comments, a black guy who was a photographer. And he's like, "Oh no, she didn't get beat up by men. She got beat up by females." It's easier to say, "Ooh, 4 angry black men beat me up," versus "I got mollywopped by females from running my mouth."
Okay. Now let me ask you this. This new incident that she's claiming where a black man hit her with a brick and then tried to kidnap her and then 15 different sides of her story. But I'm asking you this. We know she was intoxicated because she did share her medical records on GoFundMe. So I'm asking you, with her being highly intoxicated that night, do you believe her account that a man with a brick assaulted her because she wouldn't give up the digits?
I do not.
Tell
When
me
I
what.
saw it on the shade room, I just went, "Oh my God, here we go again." Ugh. That
Okay.
was my initial reaction, but about 90% of me said, "Here we go again." The other 10% said, "I hope she okay." But I said, "Here we go again." That was my initial reaction.
Okay, so can you tell me why you do not believe her story? Because this story is kind of different than the one in 2020 when she said it was a bunch of niggas. This time, the guy tried to get her number. She said no. He picked up a brick, hit her, then went and got his car, then tried to drag her in the car. Black men were standing and watching. The story is crazy. We know that it doesn't make sense. We know she's full of
Yeah.
shit. So what made you not believe it? Not going off of Minnesota, but what else came to your mind where you knew she was lying?
Just her being very vain, very into herself, wanting kind of the attention, the spotlight for herself. Even aside from the incident in Minnesota, she has always been, I'm not going to say necessarily craving attention, because we met in the same type of spotlight. We met at a club. She was dancing, I was dancing, so that as far as the way she dresses and stuff, like, my whole thing is, like, when she feels in her heart of hearts that she's right, if you don't root for her, if you're not rah 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 Rhoda, rah 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 her team, you're you're an opposition, you're against her. And she wants sympathy from people. And you know, and I do believe, I can't confirm this, she has a lot of things going on with her that I may not necessarily be able to speak on, but I don't know if it's mental health. She definitely has a lot of things going on with her, and she has for years. And a lot of times I just, you know, I ignored it, or I'm just like, well, we in other states now, so it didn't really affect me or bother me.
So you did have a question that came in from Gail at Night, one of our top moderators. She wants to know if Rhoda was in any type of foster home. I know you told me that that community in Minnesota is big, the Somalian community. Do you
It's
know?
the largest in the United States.
Okay, so do you know anything about her past and why you feel that she's like she is today?
As far, I don't know about her being in a foster home. She was raised with her family, so no, I don't know about any foster home or anything like that.
And when you were living with her, do you remember at all what she did for work?
Oh yeah, she was a translator. She speaks 4 languages. She worked with her community. It's not uncommon for Somalis to work with their community, to work with people in their community. She translated. She worked for like a Somali social service agency.
Okay. And were you aware of the education that she had obtained at that time? Because I know she went to school in New York. She went to school at a lot of places. Did you know anything about her educational past as well?
Well, when I first met her, she was like working towards an associate's or something.
Okay.
But at the time, even being a translator, she was making like $17 an hour in 2010, which was very good back then. So, I think she had took some courses. Everything after that, like when she moved to the Virgin Islands in New York, that stuff. I mean, I knew she graduated and stuff like that, but I don't know as far as her workplaces after that. Because again, once she moved, we weren't as close as we used to be.
And when was the last time? What was the year that you guys stopped talking completely, where there was no type of communication? What year was that?
Um, 2020, was that 2020? The year I got subpoenaed. I believe it was the following year. So 2021, that was the last time I spoke to her. She did follow me on TikTok last year in 2022. I followed her back, but it we never had any type of conversation or anything like that. It
Okay.
kind of
So
I have a question.
hold
Um,
on, honey.
okay.
Hold on 1 second, Miss Shauna. So let me ask you this. You said 2021. So are you aware of, so you must be aware of the baby. And have you ever met the baby daddy?
I've never met the baby dad. I met her. I met her son once when she came in 2020 during the George Floyd protests and breakouts. But no, I've never met her baby dad.
Now, her baby daddy, is he American or he is not American? Do you know
Uh,
do you
but
know anything of that?
I know he's American. He's like from Philly, but that's all I know about him.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, Miss Shauna, ask your question, boo.
Okay. I got like four. So,
Okay, go ahead.
um, on the for the men, wasn't there like another guy she married to come to the country?
Wait a minute. Say that one more time. I'm a
Was
little bit.
there? I'm sorry. Was there another guy she married so he could come to the country?
No, I don't
Okay.
think about that.
Okay, so let me put
Okay.
there. So, guys, what Shauna's talking about is on Rhoda's Facebook, she went by Rhoda Griffin at one point. Now, when I pulled her file, there is no marriage, a legal marriage that was documented. So, some people call themselves being Facebook married. You can change your last name to anything you want on Facebook. It doesn't mean that they are actually married. But there is a rumor going around that she did marry some guy so he can be in the country, and that was a scam as well. So, that was a great question, Miss Shauna. Go ahead, boo.
My next one is I want to just mention on that 2020 incident in Minnesota. Um, Miss Rachel does have a video, and to me, it's so eerily similar to what happened. Blaming men, pointing to her face. It was like the same antics to me. Do you know anything about her background before she came to America? Was she in a refugee camp, or did her whole family come, or do you know anything of that?
I know. Well, there's a video that she, I think it was from 2017. So this isn't just something I'm telling y'all. This is stuff you could find. She'll tell you she was born in Kenya, where she has the wig on. It's like a video, I think, from 2017. I don't know about like what city or anything like that, but she's Somali. She was born in Kenya. That's pretty much what I know.
Okay, I got two more. The I saw an incident where she was being accused of smoking marijuana at the hotel.
Mhm.
And then there was something that was said that on one of her old posts that was there some admission to narcotics like cocaine?
When she had an older page, she had self-admitted to that. I don't know if maybe somebody hacked her page or whatever, but that was from many years ago when she was in the Virgin Islands. She had on like all white, and it was a caption, when I was heavily addicted to cocaine, but that was several years ago, probably 2013, 2014.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me put a pin, Miss Shauna. I know you got one more question, but I wanted to
Okay.
stop right there. So, what Shauna's talking about, guys, if anybody followed Rhoda, the scammer, online, you would know that she had an incident with a woman at the Hilton. She calls her the Karen Hilton. Well, I forgot to tell you guys, I did call the Hilton, and this is the issue. The reason why all this happened because they smelled marijuana coming out of her room. And no matter how thick you put those tiles under the door, that weed smell is just a powerful smell. And when you got a hallway that's so tight knit like that, where the insulation, like you can smell everything coming out of people's room, that weed smell is not hard to get out of your hotel room when you're in a small area. So she, in fact, was smoking weed in there and tried to kill the smell with incense. You know how we are as Black people.
Absolutely.
We think if you light a match or something or spray it with Febreze, it'll go away. That marijuana smell does not go away that fast. So when they come in to clean your room, that smell is in the sheets. It's in the curtains. It does not go away. So she tried to put this woman on blast because she was a white woman
Correct.
trying to. The woman wasn't accusing her. It was actual facts. She was smoking weed in that room, and they have a no smoking policy, y'all. So I wanted y'all to know this. I did record the call, but I can't post it because of legal ramifications. I'm not trying to get sued, right? But
Correct.
what I do know is that she was smoking in the room, and when housekeeping came to clean her room, they smelt the strong odor of marijuana. Now, if anybody follows Rhoda, she always has a big thing of weed somewhere close to her. The night that this happened, she was smoking weed. There's a lot of pictures, and you'll see weed in the background. She's a heavy weed smoker. When she got arrested in November last year, she had weed in her system. So we're not going to sit here and act like weed ain't in your life. It is.
Correct.
She uses weed to suppress her anxiety. That's why she's on pills for that. She was on pills for that. So what I'm telling you guys is that whole Hilton incident, that was for her to be able to sue them and get money for defamation. Her being a Somalian, she's been using that in certain occasions. And then there's times when she says she's African American, or there's times when she says that she's Muslim. This girl, to me, I'm thinking bipolar. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that that incident could have gotten her in more trouble because now you put somebody on video without their consent, and she could have gotten herself in trouble. But I'm telling you guys today, she was smoking weed in that room. It was confirmed. She was. But when she recorded, she went there after all that stuff started happening to look like the victim. And of course, people donated to her too on TikTok and things like that. So go ahead, Miss Shauna.
Okay. I'm gonna just do a two in one because one of them I don't know if you would have any information on, but could you speak on some other things that I saw, like an insurance scam, how she got to the Virgin Islands, and also I see Miss Dr. Steve still on the line, and I do kind of want him to hear your point of view of how she talks about Black men using Black men and not really taking those type of relationships serious, just using Black men. And I'll go on mute.
Okay, so the first question, Miss Rachel, she wants to know, girl, you got me all over the place. What was that first question? That's like that. My mind is somewhere else.
I was seeing some things on her
The
record.
scam, the insurance.
Yeah, an insurance scam for maybe 50,000. She went to the Virgin Islands. If she could speak on that, and then I want her views broke down on how she feels about Black men.
Sure. So I actually did not even learn of the I didn't know, and she told me she had saved up like $50,000 to go to move to the Virgin Islands. That's what I was told when she moved. So that's just what I always believed. It wasn't until recent years, 2020, one of her friends, I won't say who, but one of her friends who they had a falling out, she said, "Oh yeah, she got that in an insurance scam or whatever. I guess it was an accident. I don't know this to be true, but this is what one of the women had told me. She said, "Oh yeah, she got that in an insurance scam, and they gave her $50,000." So it was apparently like some type of car accident or something like
She
that.
brake checked and they hit her from behind. That's a scam. So guys, they do that out here in Chicago too. You got a lot of people that will brake check you so you can hit them. Now, you know, in most accident cases, if you get hit from behind, that means that person was too close. You're technically supposed to be one car's length behind somebody. Now, you know, we don't do that in the Chi. They don't
Correct.
do it in Cali. Y'all know how we like to, you know, drive on someone's bumper. So
Correct.
now if they see that you have a nice vehicle, they will brake check you so that you can hit them and they can get a payment. So what Shauna's trying to tell you guys is that 50,000 that she was able to get to go to the Virgin Islands, that was off of an insurance scam. So this is something that this woman does for a living. Scam, 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 scam. This is what she does. This is how she survives. And if the scams are not working, then it's time to go live and do a video blaming someone so she can get paid. Did she get off? It looks like Shauna went off. Okay. The other question Shauna was asking you was how she has this disdain for black men. Black men. Have you seen that when you guys were living together? Did you ever see her with any black men? Like,
Oh
have you
yeah,
ever seen her?
all
Okay, go ahead.
she that's all she's dated is pretty much black men. I've never seen her date anything other than black men. She's always been with a black man.
Hmm. Somebody asked, was her baby daddy? Where's he from? Guys, he's
I
from
don't
Philly.
I
So that would
don't
mean
know.
that he is
So
an American black man.
I
So
couldn't tell
yeah.
you anything about like her baby dad. You know, contrary to popular belief, I'm not on here to bash this girl or I don't know
I
where
am.
I'm not.
I'm on here I'm on here to bash her because I'm telling you, when you blame, I'm a black woman and I was raised by a black man, and the fact that this woman is sitting here saying that black men ain't shit and that she likes pussy, which I know she's full of shit on that. If you guys go to her Facebook, you can easily see. Go to June, where it was Father's Day. She posted a picture of her baby daddy. He is a black man. He's a black
Yeah.
man. So it seems to me like Shauna was saying, she likes to play this role to get donations from women who can easily say, yeah, my baby daddy ain't shit either. It's easier to relate to black women when it comes to these type of issues because you guys are gullible. And I've said that many times. You guys don't care about the facts. You're emotional. Oh my gosh, how could her baby daddy do that? Oh my gosh, how could a man hit her with a brick because she didn't give up the digits? Like I tell you guys, I'm not saying Rhoda is not attractive. Her BBL, the doctor did subpar. He did eye. You know, when she turns around, looks like a full diaper. But what I'm saying is, in a cat suit, a body like that will look nice. Some men are not really looking at the face, they're looking at the body. If she had the original body she had when she was voting for Bernie Sanders, she probably wouldn't get no attention. So now this phone number thing is to make you guys think that she's this big victim because she did not give up her digits. And I'm telling you guys today that there are men who do get upset when you say no because of how you say it. And I
Correct.
keep telling y'all that. Me living in Chicago, I've had men ask me for my number all the time. And they would usually add a compliment. Hey, beautiful, you are beautiful. May I have your number? Oh, thank you for the compliment, but I'm married. I've never had a man pick up a brick and say, so what are you going to do? Right? So, guys, understand that this woman played a lot of people and she will continue to play y'all until you hold them accountable. So, as you can see, Rachel said that she's only seen her with black men. Rachel, are you sure none of these men were white?
I have never seen her date a white man ever. I've
In
seen her
that time you were
use
with her?
white men for like rides or going to get something to eat. I remember there was a guy, I don't even remember the guy's name, but I remember like he had a car. I didn't have a vehicle. I had nothing. She didn't have a car at the time. So this white dude would, you know, drive her around to go get food. And he was what you would call a simp. He was a very, very nice guy. But she never did anything with him. She just used them, kind of like she uses people for what. Once she's done with you, she gonna cuss you out, go off on you, and she ended up doing him like that, and he was never seen or heard from again. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you an uncomfortable question because this is public knowledge. Anyone wants to see this, you can go to Minnesota case search and type in Rhoda Osmond. So I'm going to ask you this question, Rachel, and I need you to be 100% honest because you said you lived with her. You just said that she had a white guy driving her around, but we know on TikTok she referred to white people as the devil. She didn't like any white people. So let me ask you this. Were you aware of her being arrested in Minnesota around the same time that they did that first GoFundMe? Were you aware of her other life? And when I say other life, I'm going to say the 304 life. Were you aware that she was doing those type of things to get money? Yes or no?
I was not. No.
So you never knew of this because you did tell me you knew about that GoFundMe from 2020, and this happened in 2020 when she was arrested for being a 304. So I'm gonna ask you this again: are you sure you knew nothing of her being arrested in 2020 for 304 activity?
I did not know, and the reason that I'm going to say that I don't, I know that a lot of people will try to couple me as being a 304 as well. I've done OnlyFans before. I don't have a problem in admitting to that. So, me and her, we always dressed sexy. We always went out to shake our asses, and I know a lot of people perceive women who do that as 304 behavior or whatever, but as far as her actually getting arrested for it, like I said, I never even pulled the girl's record. I never knew any of that until it was brought to me. And you got to realize we fell out in 2020. So that was, I didn't care.
Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Gail at Night, because when they did that GoFundMe, there was an organization that said that GoFundMe money was for something totally different. Sex work is what it said. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it 1,000 with y'all, because I know I don't hide shit. If you go to Instagram, I'm definitely gonna post it on my YouTube. But the person said one of our sisters need help getting out of jail because they got caught doing sex work. It was in 2020 when they said that. That GoFundMe for the alleged assault from the female security was also in 2020. It was the same year. They called it sex work. I call it being a hoe. So what I'm saying is that time where this white man was driving her around, that could have been her sugar daddy. That could have been one of her pimps. What I'm trying to let you guys see is that this facade of her hating white people, but Miss Rachel just told you there was a man that drove her around. Now, she didn't see any sexual activity, but we know that a man is just not going to drive you around because you got a fat ass. We got to live in today's society. We know you got to give up the pussy. We know that there's a lot of Nates out there that's going to say, what are you going to do for this tuition money? That is true. So we can't sit here and say that a man just wanted a okay looking woman to ride in his car while he just wasted gas and spent money. That's not the way it works. So what I'm trying to tell you, Rachel, is that could have been one of her Johns. And I'm being honest. Now, when someone is arrested for it and it's public record, you can't hide from that. That means that they have proof. They either caught you with the John or, anything. But a charge is a charge. So I'm letting you know around that same time, she was arrested for that. And they didn't call it 304 behavior. It started with a P. And you know what I'm talking about. So we all know what that means when you're out there selling pussy. It ain't called being an empowered woman. Okay. So what I'm saying is that woman could have been doing it around that time right underneath your eye, but you didn't see it because you were in a predicament where you needed help. Am I right?
Correct.
Now let me ask you this again. You said that you've seen her get drunk, and that's when she called you a fat bee and all that stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that was on 2 different occasions. We have fell out back in like 2013 after I'd known her for like 3 years, and at that time, her favorite term for me was broke, bitch, because I lived in a shelter before. So I have no problem being transparent with who I am, because the reality of it is, anything that I went through in my life, I'm not out here dogging black men, dogging black women. That's the difference, and that her and her family don't seem to understand. Any of my past behavior, anything that I've done, like, I don't have to hide behind a rock. Like, I'm content with who I am.
So let me ask you this: have you guys ever been physical with each other? Have you ever had to put your hands on this woman? And be honest, have y'all ever had a fight? And I'm
we've never
not yelling, fighting.
No, we've never physically fought. It's always, because usually every time it's always a group of us around. It's been her sister or a group of her other friends, 3 or 4 people. I remember even when I was staying with her, you can get the F out, you can get the F out. I'm like, where am I going? I don't got nowhere to go. This was back in like 2012 or so. But about 5 minutes later, her sister started speaking Somali to her, calmed her down. But she has moments, and then like 5 minutes later, I'm sorry, Rachel. Like, she literally zips back and forth between pissed off to calm down. So
okay,
I have a question. Go ahead.
Hold on, Miss Shauna. Shauna, I knew you was coming too, but let me address something. Someone named Tim said, "Do I have a hate for black men?" I'm hoping you weren't asking me that shit, because anybody that has been following me, they know I go motherfucking hard for black men. So Tim, please don't embarrass yourself today, because I'm also in that type of mode where I have the time. So what you're not going to do is come on to my fucking show and try to say that I don't give a shit about black men. I absolutely love black men. So clearly you must not know who the fuck I am. So I'm going to just tell you right now to stand the fuck down, because I keep telling y'all to stop fucking with me. When I do shows like this, I do it so you guys can get the truth, because other motherfuckers aren't going to do it. They're going to tell you to keep donating, keep looking like boo-boo the motherfucking fool. I'm here to tell you guys today that this is not acceptable. If I didn't care about black men, Tim, I wouldn't be doing this fucking show. The bitch lied on black men, motherfucker. So I need you not to get me out of my element, because I'm trying to be calm. This woman has done a lot. And all the hate that these black men are getting on TikTok, it won't be tolerated. I don't give a fuck how many times they report me. This show is so I can be myself and that we can all be transparent and say the truth. I'm not hiding anything. I'm on here to trash Rhoda because she trashed black men and she's still not saying she's sorry. So until the bitch says that she's sorry for lying on black men because she's a drunk, crazy motherfucker, I'm going to continue to talk about her. If nobody likes me bringing up Rhoda, don't follow me. Unsubscribe. I don't give a fuck if I have 2 subscribers. I'm going to keep talking about this woman because the amount of damage that she did, it can't be repaired. It can't. So again, if she wants to come on here, bring your lying, intoxicated ass on here and we can talk. I sent you the link, Rhoda. And if Rhoda is in these comments under another page and you guys know that for sure, let me know and I'll send it to my buddies. They're ready to dox. So don't fuck with me today. Don't come on here telling me that this woman has a mental illness. Lying, being a lying motherfucker, that is someone that knows right from wrong. This bitch has enough education to know right from motherfucking wrong. Y'all wouldn't want them saying that a white man had a mental illness when they kill a black man. So keep that energy for this bitch today. Mental illness, I'm all about mental health. I'm all about helping people. But this type of shit here, this needs jail time. She needs to be locked up in prison so she can learn how to shut the fuck up and be a better person for her son, Junior. What she's doing right now, this is not the way. So I don't need anybody telling me how to run my show, and I don't need anyone trying to judge me, because that's not what this show is about. So again, Tim, say one more motherfucking thing and I'm going to show you who the fuck I am. I'm not playing with y'all motherfuckers no more. Because as much as I give back and I try to be here for y'all, y'all still try to test me. And that's not fair to me. I'm not on here bashing black men. I'm on here trashing Rhoda, the person that lied on black men. That's why we're here today. So again, I just want to put that in there because I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. I'm on 10 right now. So go ahead, Miss Shauna.
I'm gonna side with you on that one for sure, because what she really did was dangerous, very dangerous. You know how police roll up on situations. I just found it to be very dangerous. But my question to you, Rachel, is there a Caucasian woman that's in the background supporting her?
I can tell you that she's had Caucasian women as friends over the years. I don't know, because again, I haven't hung with this girl since 2020. Haven't spoke with her since 2021. She has people of all. I will say this to you: when I met her, she had Caucasian friends, Somali friends, African, Jamaican. She had literally friends from every type of background, and there is a possibility like that she has what do you call it? You know how when Caucasian people want to pretend like they're
A
allies,
sponsor?
fighters, I'm pretty sure she probably does have people who are riding for her, even knowing that she's wrong. They're just not going to speak up and say anything.
That is true. And guys, I want to also let you know that Rhoda does go by different names. Like Miss Shauna, we know that she used to go by Caprice Griffin. The woman has you, and typically a scammer doesn't never use their original name, right? They're gonna change it to a whole bunch of other names until the cops are involved. Then you got to give them your real shit. So who knows how far back this goes with her being a liar and lying to get money from people? But we know for sure that I honestly think she played Dr. Steve. She played him because she knew that this man was probably fascinated with the fake ass and the titties and yeah, this is a woman. Oh man, she looks good. But understand that a lot of women do this, especially to men that they know make good money. You know, he said he had no problem showing her what he makes. And that kind of told me, Dr. Steve, you were a part of her scam. Because her wanting to know what you make, but you don't know what she makes. Come on, y'all. If a woman is being honest about her life, she's going to show you just like you're showing her, right? but he told me he's never seen a pay stub from her working as a teacher. Well, Dr. Steve, that's because she's not an actual teacher. She's an assistant to a teacher and an athletic mentor. She works 2 low-paying jobs at the University of Austin, making less than $23,000 a year. So someone with that type of background will ask men like Steve for money. Oh, I got to pay my bills, but I'm sure she didn't ask him for money to get that BBL. So at the end of the day, this woman came across money by scamming people and lying to people, and she's been doing it for years. So understand why the heat is on her even. It's on her even worse this time because she's been doing this too long without being caught. Nobody ever spoke up and said anything because they're so scared. So people would rather be quiet and let people scam in peace until they're the ones being scammed, right? Well, I wasn't raised that way. When this came across my desk and I saw it on TikTok, I knew the story did not add up. And I want to talk about the recent proof I just posted to people who are asking me about it. If you go to my community chat on YouTube, I just posted the police report. We know that Roda posted on her Facebook that she claims to not have access to. A ghost got into her account and posted the police report again, right? The police report shows that Officer Espinosa met her at a location that is permanently closed. I want you guys to know that 11 minutes from that location is the actual club where she allegedly got hit with the brick. But she got checked out of the hospital at 3:26 p.m. and met Officer Espinosa in a place where there's no cameras, where it's not open anymore. At 5:53 is when he put in the police report. Now, it said GOA, which means that the guy was gone on arrival because it didn't happen there. Y'all feel what I'm saying here? So she had this man meet her there. Why didn't Officer Espinosa meet you at the fucking hospital, Rhoda? Why didn't he meet you at the club where it happened? Because then he would have told the club owner, go ahead and hand us over that surveillance. Y'all see how easy that is? We all watch First 48, right? If someone gets killed outside of a club, what's the first thing Dr. Bob does? He looks up, ooh, there's a camera. Call the owner. And they will subpoena you to give up everything they need to solve the case. So again, Rhoda checked out at 3:26 and had that man meet her in an area where it did not occur. Ask yourself why. Then on that same report, it says that she was assaulted with a rock/brick. Y'all do know those are 2 different fucking things, right? Was it a rock or was it in fact a brick? We know in that area of where the club was, there were no bricks anywhere, just gravel. So you mean this man picked up a little pebble, a rock, and flung it at you, baseball speed? Come on, you guys. We can't make this up. She's the one putting out this information and making herself look worse. But you bitches out there still believe this bitch and you still give her money. Do y'all know what she's doing to herself and her son? Y'all over here saying it's a mental illness, but when they take the kid away, oh no, she's not mentally unstable. We were just playing. If you guys are saying this is a mental illness, why the fuck should she have a son in her custody then? Then I'm the bad guy, right, for getting the kid taken. Because it isn't a mental illness. This woman knows right from wrong. She's choosing to live this dangerous life. Like Shauna said, until or Rachel, one of y'all said this, she's going to meet the wrong one. Out here in Chicago, I don't know how Austin gets down, because Houston is where all the niggas are at. Austin, you got more Hispanics. Okay, I did my research. I know what's out there. So if she did this shit out here in Chicago, she wouldn't be able to do anything at this point. They would be picking flowers. What I'm saying is you got to be careful who you are scamming, because people do not like their money to be played with, nor their emotions. And when you put a whole group of men together and say these niggas were standing out here being less than a man and no one defended me, well, I'm starting to believe those guys who said she was fighting women. We know she fought a woman when she was with Steve on vacation. We know that she fought a woman in 2020 in Minnesota. So now all of a sudden, this is a man. So she said, you know what? I can't make it look like he did in Minnesota. I'm going to say he asked me for my number and then he assaulted me. There we go. That's different than the other 2 occasions. No, what we know to believe is that whenever she drinks, this woman becomes the Hulk. We know that. And then she has no recollection, right? Oh, it was a black man. Oh, it was an unknown man. So I need you guys to understand that everything I've been posting, she put it out there like the dumbass that she is. Then when I called her out on that paperwork that said she got hit with a brick and the man tried to pull in the car, ask yourself why that page isn't on there anymore. On her Facebook, she shared everything she shared on GoFundMe, minus that page that I caught her up. Yo, I can't make this shit up. She knows that I'm on her fake ass. She knows that. And because nobody did this in Minnesota, no one did this when she was out selling pussy, nobody cared. They didn't care. It's not my problem, so I'm just going to ignore it. I can't ignore it when you blame a whole race of men. And then you bitches forgot. She said that the guy jumped in the car with black women, and we wouldn't let him leave. Then he gets out of that car, jumps in another car, and drives off. And you still don't know what this motherfucker looks like. So guys, come on. At what point do you use your brain, right? But a lot of you women still don't like me because I'm exposing this big, fat, ugly ass hyena. That's what she is. When you lie like that, you no longer have in me, you're nothing in me. If anything, I want to protect Junior. He needs to be with his daddy in Philly, wherever the fuck the baby daddy is, because he's next on my list. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that a boy doesn't need to be in the custody of a woman that's unhinged. She is unhinged, and we know that, right?
It's a pattern. Pathological. It's a pattern.
So Shauna, now I want to talk to you. So hold on, Miss Rachel. I'm going to talk to you too, but I want Shauna to speak. Guys, Shauna, she actually found Steve a while back. She knew what was going on. She spoke to Steve for about half an hour. She has a lot of information too. She knew the shit was wrong. So a lot of these men think that I'm the only woman out here holding women accountable. You have Rachel on here, and you also have Shauna. Shauna is all for making sure that she does not get that GoFundMe money. She has been very active, especially on the woman's Facebook, saying, bitch, you ain't get nothing. You ain't get no money. You know, so Miss Shauna, I want you to tell us what you know and how you feel about this situation.
I feel it's a fraud. What pulled me in is, I told you, the whole reparations thing. I felt it was disrespectful. To be honest, when I first saw the video, I just skidded on through. It looked like an allergic reaction. I saw it again. I thought it was a third world country. Then I started listening to the story, and without me even looking at or knowing any of this, it just didn't sound right. It just didn't sound right. It looked like a skit to me. So I just started digging and just asking questions. I talked to some other friends that called me out my name. Some that just defended her to probably their dying will. They kind of are, and it's Black women, foundational Black American women. Just so proud of her accolades and her being a woman of empowerment. And my discussion and argument with them is, if it's about Black women empowerment, why aren't you cooperating with the police, getting more information to protect Black women? That didn't make sense to me. When I first did the interview with Rachel, I had the Black News Network on there with me, and that was one of their main things when they were looking into it, like, help us help you. And she just went silent. I just think it's a disgrace, really. It's a slap in our faces, and especially women. I've seen a lot of emotional women, and logic just went out the door. There was no logic in it.
Facts. Now, let me ask you this. When you came across my information, how did that make you feel when you saw everything that I was putting out there? Did that help corroborate what you were already thinking?
Oh, yeah. I was sold on, I think it was like September the 8th when I was doing my own research. I spent a little time with Steve. And I spent like 2 hours with Rachel. I had no sleep that day. So September the 8th, after talking to them two, I knew it was bogus. I saw your videos and I was like, if Daphne's on the scene, and I know you were coming with the receipts, calling, I didn't call out to police stations or anything like that. I did happen to be on a live video where the club owner was called. Also, and this was before the 8th with Black News Network, where he had a very thick accent. He said he's gotten many calls. He's checked his CCTV. There was nothing, no incident. He was familiar with her and says that, this is the club owner saying that she starts a lot of issues there. And like I said, he had a very thick accent. He did say something happened last week. So in my mind, I was thinking this was all premeditated. I saw the picture of her in the club with the ski mask. There was also interviews with the bouncers that were there. They said that she came later that night. She wasn't there the whole night. She came in later. So I was thinking this was premeditated. And they also interviewed the guy. So I'm like, okay, there's no witnesses. I know if my friend wasn't going to jump in, she's going to at least pull out her camera, have some information. If I'm getting dragged for lying, I know my homegirl going to come out for me. She's going to ride for me and say that she was there and it happened, or give us a description. So we got like, what color was the car? What kind of car was it? Was it SUV? Was he 5'7"? Was he 6 foot? It just didn't make sense. But the only witnesses that we do have are the two bouncers that were across the street. And I think when I was interviewing Rachel, I think Rachel did mention like maybe she took theatrics before or has a love for theater. I don't know. But the guys that were across the street at a gas station, they said they heard some commotion. They looked over, they said that she was fighting women. They came over, the bouncers, to see what they could do. And next thing you know, was lights, camera, action, phone in their face. These niggas here, and if you can probably look back at that original video that she put out, you can hear somebody say like, well, I just got here. So it was like staged to me. Like once you put those, factors in, it just came across very staged.
And let me put a pin right there, Miss Shauna. I agree, guys. If you saw the very first video minutes after this brutal attack on this innocent victim, she said those guys were all just standing there doing nothing. They actually watched her get hit and watched her almost get kidnapped, and they did nothing. There was another guy in there that said, "Where's the brick?" He wasn't saying it to be funny, because y'all know when, like I tell y'all, if y'all pick up a brick and you hit someone, your DNA, your skin cells is on that brick. That's something that a detective would bag up, take it in to be analyzed, right? There's no brick. And then they're saying the man had a suit. So this was a clean suit wearing motherfucker that did all this, jumping in the car with women, jumping out. Wow. Sounds like Superman to me, And then at the same time, if you listen to that very first video, she first said rock. Then it turned into a brick when she was actually in the hospital. And I keep telling y'all, the video was filmed at night, but she was discharged on Sunday at 3:26 p.m. So we know that she would have had to be at that club that following night. She was at the club. So my question is, what happened between the time of her being allegedly assaulted by an unknown, someone with no face, someone with no details? You got assaulted by him, and then you're checking into the hospital in the morning on Sunday. What happened between Saturday night and Sunday morning? That's what I want to know. Because you guys keep saying, well, she spoke to the cops on the scene. So then why isn't there a report on that night? It wouldn't be the 3rd, you guys. Remember, the police report she's showing you happened on Sunday at 5:53 p.m. But that's not when you got attacked, Rhoda. I need you to be
Yeah.
10 toes down on your bullshit. Because if I got attacked on Saturday night and the ambulance showed up and the police showed up, it would be effective Saturday night when I filed that report. Because when a cop comes to talk to you, what does he do? He reaches in his pocket, pulls out the little notepad and pen, and he starts writing it down. Then he goes on dispatch and says, I want you to generate a report number. Okay, blocka, blocka, blocka. He writes it down. He rips it off and says, here you go. That's what happens. Y'all, I know the law. Y'all keep thinking that some of us are dumb. A lot of us are very, very smart. Okay?
And
So there's no way she filed a report on the scene when it actually happened. There is absolutely no way. Okay? Then you guys are getting a hold of the owner of the club, but how come the cops haven't? So I need y'all to understand that, yes, she did file a report on Sunday at 5:53, but that report has absolutely no details. And for Espinosa to put gone on arrival, come on, she just got checked out of the hospital. So what I'm saying to you guys is, most cops, when you're assaulted and there's a man out there in a suit with a brick, they're going to show up at the hospital and talk to you then. That's the way protocol works. So they failed her at the hospital because clearly he didn't meet her at the hospital. Otherwise, that address would be the hospital. Y'all feel what I'm saying today? And
exactly.
People still keep challenging us and saying that we're liars, but y'all just mad because we're telling the truth. Y'all want the lies. See, one thing about the Black women sisterhood, they love supporting a female that lies because it sounds so good to them. They can relate to Pookie. They can relate to being assaulted. Again, I was in an abusive relationship for 3.5 years. I couldn't relate to Rhoda at all because I knew she was full of shit.
Correct.
I knew she was full of shit.
I just want to say, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
There was, and it was really was it a police report? It was seem like an incident report. And I just want to also point out, and I asked Daphne to go back and look at the GoFundMe, and Daphne knows how to dig in those crates. So the two witnesses that saw her fighting women, again, this is a pattern, blaming black men, but actually fighting black women that she so-called the empowerment that she has. But in the GoFundMe, I believe it starts out saying like no one helped her, no one called the ambulance or the police. The two witnesses said, and this just pisses me off. He said, I called the police for her and I stayed with her until the police came. Then it sounds like he was saying she was kind of behind him, acting belligerent. Why wouldn't she cooperate with the police at that time when they were called? And the guy said, and I don't know how to do this part, but Daphne, he was like, you can pull the body cam. The police that came on the scene had a body cam on. So in the GoFundMe, what I'm saying is, and even in the video, to sit there and lie and say no one, has helped me, those men stayed with her and tried to help her. The other discrepancy that I saw in the GoFundMe, it was updated on September the 4th. Saying that, they had just called and made doctor's appointments for all these different specialists or something that she needs to see. And I'm thinking, like, isn't that Labor Day? Like, I don't know of any doctor's offices that are open on Labor Day.
So let me put a pin there, guys. So Shauna is just like me. She looks at details. When you're an emotional hyena, you don't see the details. All you hear is brick, assault, black woman. That's all these hyenas hear. As long as everything ends in brick, assault, black woman, that's what they support. But when you tell them the in-between, what they're missing, then they think that we are against black women, and that is not the case. So the GoFundMe said that they had scheduled all these appointments on Labor Day, and we know 9 times out of 10, clinics are not open on Labor Day. Hospitals are open 24/7. Right? We know that. And you wouldn't go to a hospital and ER to schedule a doctor's appointment. That's something private. We all know that Rhoda claimed to not have any health insurance, working 2 small jobs at her college, and still doesn't have health insurance, and you have a son. What kind of mother are you? So we know that that's not true. Also, I want you guys to know, again, she told the doctor 2 stories on the same night. Then went on TikTok and told a third. So all on September the 3rd, you heard 3 versions. Leaving the club, brick to the head. Version 2, leaving the club, brick to the head, man tried to pull her into a car. Unknown man. If someone tried to pull my ass into a car, I'm going to see their face. I'm going to see the car. For some reason, Rhoda goes blind when actions occur, right? And she don't know nothing until the dust settles. I ain't never heard of someone going through what she goes through. Temporary blindness is what she's calling it. Temporary blindness, because for some reason, you don't know who tried to pull you in the car. The guy picked up a brick and said, what are you going to do? You couldn't see him then. Something's not right with this woman. And we're not going to say it's a mental illness. It's a lying motherfucking disease. She's a liar. And that is a crime when you lie and lie to get money from people. It's called fraud. So like I told you guys, I did file a police report in the state of Illinois, and they passed it on to Houston. And then a detective is going to be calling me. I'm not going to let this woman get off. A lot of y'all might call me obsessed. Well, motherfucker, I'm obsessed with the truth. I'm sorry about that. But at the end of the day, there's people on GoFundMe that really need that money, and she's not one of them. That bitch don't need the money. What she needs to do is get a real fucking job. She needs to take a pause out of school and combine all those loans that she has and start making payments on that. Because when I called her out for not paying her court fine from November, the bitch paid it on September the 13th. So I know she hears what I'm saying. I know Rhoda. And all these people she's saying she's going to sue, she hasn't tagged my name yet. Because the bitch already knows I'm not to be fucked with. She knows what it is. But I find it funny when I bring up something about her, she tries to correct it along the way. And if she got those doctors involved in this scam, because she said I hit you with a couple thousand, then we really got a problem. Because I find it odd how someone that's in their first year of residency signed off on a doctor's note without a letterhead. A lot of you women, sisterhood, well, I've had a doctor's note and there was no hospital letterhead. What job were you working at? Strip club? Because that's the only way that'll get away. If you're working at a corporate America job, they will tell you we need proof that you were at a hospital or that you saw a doctor. Proof means a letterhead with a phone number that they can contact. not to get your actual medical results, but just to confirm that you saw Dr. Blah, blah, blah. But this guy puts his school ID, no phone number, just a school ID. So I needed y'all to see the things that you don't want to see when you're emotional. This woman played an entire group of people and they still donate. I want you to know they're still donating to her GoFundMe as we talk right now. They're still sending her $5, $10. Oh, poor baby. She's not a baby. She's a big hyena. She knows right from wrong. She claims to be educated, but she's a stupid motherfucker. She might have a master's in school, but she has a GED when it comes to street knowledge. She doesn't even know how to lie. So what I want you guys to know is that she's hurt a lot of people. She really has. Those guys that she got on video, those could be fathers. Those could be people that have good jobs. And now you're seeing on video being called a bitch for not helping another woman. Do you know how she could have hurt those men too? But y'all don't see that. Y'all just see a woman with a big thing on the side of her face telling you guys a fucking lie while she's drunk. She was drunk. You could tell she was drunk when she was like, you see that shit? And you see that shit? Sound like a smoker, 65-year-old smoker. That's what she sounded like. But when she was going for Bernie Sanders, she was like, guys, I'm Somalian, and I think you guys should all vote for Bernie Sanders. Yo, I can't make this shit up. This woman could have went into acting and did a better job there. She could have worked with Tyler Perry. She could have did something better with her life. But instead, she's a lying motherfucker. We got to stop telling women that it's okay to lie. It's a mental illness. Carly Russell, mental illness. It's not a mental illness. These are women that know right from wrong, and they're choosing to lie. Carly Russell was in the healthcare field. And y'all telling me she was dumb? No. They might be smart when it comes to school, but the streets, they dumb as a fucking doorknob. So I'm trying to teach you guys something here. They have no street knowledge. This woman lied. And then you had a cop come out to an area where there were no cameras and where the business has been closed down. Why?
Yeah, I'm
Why
over
not
here
have
like,
them meet you at the club? So I do have the number to the club. I know the name of the club. I'm going to call him myself. And I'm going to tell him we need to video chat. I need to know that what you're telling me is true. Because if you're telling me you look through the cameras and none of this happened, you need to pass that on to Houston PD. That way they can see that she did lie. Now we know she lied.
exactly.
See what I'm saying, y'all? I'm trying to
Right,
get this woman arrested. And I know that sounds
right.
bad, but her
And
son
I
deserves.
think, we're not getting light skin, dark skin, color of a car. I think she's doing that because she's lying and falsifying a police report. She might know that much. And then I'm like, PhD for what? How is she even going to be employable? Maybe Rachel can speak to it, how they change up their date of births and names. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, absolutely. Before I get on that, I did want to go back to something Daphne was saying, and I wanted to add to this.
Go ahead on.
This woman does not realize, and people who are supporting her, is when she does this, you got all these Caucasian people out here who are grouping her into, oh, she's just another black woman. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying, oh, she's a Somali woman. So like I had heard somebody on a previous podcast say, now it's like black women have to take the fall for this. And when I hear people say, people like the strippers and the sexy reds are bad representations of black women, Rhoda is a bad representation of black presenting women, whatever it is you want to call it, because it's like now you're going to have women who actually face these actual fucking situations and people are going to laugh. They ain't going to fucking believe it because it's like, oh, didn't some girl just do that 3 months ago? And it's very sad. And it's like you have this, oh, I'm a PhD student and I have a master's degree. Who's going to hire you? Who's going to hire you? Look at what you've done. Look, they've already labeled you to be a troublemaker, but it's like you're like Lynn from Girlfriends. You got all these degrees and can't even use them. So what you gonna do with them?
What I heard that. Bingo. Guys, I just dropped the link. I know a lot of people in the comments have questions, and I want to give you guys 3 minutes. That's the time limit because I today I have a busy day. I have some coaching I have to do. So I want you guys to click the link. I can only have up to 10 people on here. So again, you have to have a real profile. I did send this link to Rhoda, and she did see it. I'm laughing my ass off right now. She's probably listening in right now. So everybody say hi to Rhoda because I know she's listening in and she wants to know how I know all this information. Guys, like I said, one thing I love to do is find the truth, especially if I don't believe it. Like I told you guys, when I was told about a woman dying of cancer and leaving 4 kids behind, I verified that story too. It sounds harsh, but I had to do it because there are women who lie. There was a woman last year who made $210,000 from GoFundMe by saying that her son was dying of cancer. Let me tell you what this woman did. She actually shaved her son's head to look like he was going through chemo. Guys, I threw up when I saw the story and I read the story. She had people feeling so bad for her son that was dying of cancer. And this is a rare cancer. She made up a name, found the most rarest cancer that she could, and said that's what he has. Shaved his head, put a little makeup to make his eyes look dark from being weak from the chemo. Guys, the story, I'm getting pissed right now because I wanted to put hands on this bitch. She raised 210,000 of them things, y'all. That's how much money she made. Cast out, got herself a nice, big, fat, stupid crib. They're seeing the son walking around normal. And then someone called it in. It took someone to call it in and say, this don't look right. Her son could barely walk. She was pushing him in a wheelchair just a couple days ago. Now he out there doing a walk. Something ain't right. So what I want you guys to know that it took someone to call it in and hold that bitch accountable for using her own son. So when I heard about this woman dying of cancer, I did my research. I saw her in video. I saw the cancer expanding. It like a big, it looked like she was 9 months pregnant and it was long overdue. Her stomach had these big stretch marks on it from the stretching of her small frame. That was the mass growing in her body. Then she panned to her legs, 5 times bigger than the normal leg size. She could barely get around. So weak. She was, and then she does videos in the hospital of going through chemo. And this woman is actually going through it. So yeah, I verified her story too. I shared her GoFundMe, and now she's almost at 700,000. So I do a lot for people that tell the truth. When you lie like Roda, I'm coming for your ass. And Roda thinks that the dust is going to settle. It ain't settling with me. You know what the officer told me here in Illinois? She said, well, some police stations, you got to harass them because they don't think it's serious. Now, if this had been another race being attacked, y'all, they would have been jumping on this case every second. If this was Amber being attacked by a man with a brick, they would have him by dawn if it was real. So what I'm saying is they're not putting energy into this because she didn't give them any details. The woman told me from the police station, she said, what are we supposed to look for? Who? She didn't give us no details. They ain't nothing on this paper. Ha, 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 ha. And laughs. She said, they ain't nothing on this paper. She didn't give us nothing. You're telling us to send cops to look for who? There's no description. But you're telling TikTok. And then mind you, they just told GoFundMe that they found someone. Well, guys, I have a recording. From someone at the police department. I called media relations. Remember I told you guys, I called media relations because I wanted to know why they're not working with the news. Now, I spoke to 2 different news sites. I called them. I've been harassing them too. And this is what the guy told me. Hi, Daphne. We would love to take this story if it had details. We don't report something where we can't verify. We don't report something where there's no conclusion to it. Meaning, if this was an active investigation and they were looking for someone, we can report that. But when there's no facts, we cannot report that. That's what he said. So that means that they tried to call the police and tell them, hey, we want to help you guys get the case out there. But they told KU 11, we ain't got shit. So we can't give y'all shit. Well, the lady called me and left a voicemail. I ignored her call for a reason because I knew she would leave a voicemail. And she said, Daphne, it's an ongoing investigation. We don't have any more details. That's typically why we're not working with the news. That's on my voicemail right now, fair game. And I'm going to drop that too. So I want you guys to know that I have been calling everybody because we want to help this Black woman bring the brick and the man to justice. There's nobody to bring. She's just waiting for that big payout so she can go rogue. And y'all think that she really got hurt and she's really going to be seeing all these specialists for what? You need to see a specialist for your lying mouth. You need to see a dentist too. A dentist so he can seal your mouth. Because at the end of the day, her mouth is going to be what gets her in the biggest trouble. Absolutely. I even reached out to her university and told them, this is who you guys support. Because they made a statement, we stand with Roda. We stand with her. Well, at this point, y'all should sit the fuck down. Because if I tell them that you guys don't hold your students accountable for lying, so now I'm going to be talking with someone on Monday too at the university to share with them what I have so they can retract. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm not playing. I want to make sure she's ruined on all levels. So she can't do this to anyone else. Because what happens if she does this to somebody else and she's leaving outside her apartment in Austin and someone decides to fire her and she has her baby with her? Yeah. Y'all think it's a joke, right? It's not a joke. You can get shot for less. You can get shot for $2 out here in Chicago. You can get shot for some fruities out here in Chicago. So what I'm saying is Houston is no joke. It isn't. So guys, I am saving this woman by attempting to get her locked up so she can be off the streets and off social media. I'm saving her this way. So go ahead. What were you saying, dear? Was it
Oh no,
Shauna
what I
who was speaking?
say too. I wanted to kind of go back on something. When you see white women out here doing this, even if somebody said this, even if somebody like me did some shit like that, like it probably would have played out a whole different way. I wouldn't have got a lot of support from black women. If I would have got online and lied and said, "Oh, black men did this," and these angry black men, it would have went so much different. It's like it's almost like she's taking notes from somebody, and it's like, girl, don't you realize what worked for Casey Anthony or these white women? It ain't gonna work for you, boo. It's gonna go badly in your favor, and you're gonna meet the wrong one day. But I don't think she's gonna stop.
Oh
I
no,
don't.
no, no. I honestly think after I'm done with her, I honestly think she's gonna stop. And let me go a step higher, because some of y'all might think I'm crazy. I even said that if she comes out and admits that she lied because she's in debt, because her back was against the wall, because she's used to it and used to not getting caught, and now she's taking accountability and she wants help, I will help her for free. And I mean that from my heart, because even though people do wrong, sometimes that wrong can be corrected. And
Right.
I've talked to, and mind you, the reason why I know some people might think I'm crazy for still wanting to help this black woman. You are this Somalian, Muslim, black, whatever she goes by. I want you guys to know that, remember, I'm working with a scammer right now. She was a professional scammer for longer than Rhoda. She almost got her head cut off with a machete. That's what made her stop. I said, so you don't want to stop when they were shooting at you when you had to jump out the window. This was the final thing. You said, I need my head, right? So this woman that I'm talking to, she had been scamming way longer than Rhoda has ever thought about scamming. And her scams were a lot more brilliant than Rhoda's. Rhoda's low-level scammer. I'm talking to a high-level scammer right now. And she's a black woman. And she's giving me all the tea. So if I'm going to help this woman who hurt a lot of black men, 90% of her clientele were black men. They were the easiest to scam because all you had to show them was a nipple, show them a little bit of booty, and you got them. That came from her mouth. So I know why she did it. And she told me I'm trying to rectify it. The other 10%, she played women. It was easy getting women too because she's a woman. So it was easy scamming them too by saying, oh yeah, I like your nails. Come down. She was good at that. So again, if I'm going to work with one professional scammer who did worse than Rhoda, I want to be able to help her too, but she has to admit her faults. We ask God to forgive us, right? And we're the biggest sinners. We all sin. We can't judge her because we all sin differently than her. If she comes out and admits what she did was wrong, and she wants to help, I'm willing to help her. But she would need to make that sorry loud, like she did the video of her saying these bitch ass niggas didn't do nothing. It needs to be loud. And I'm talking about amplifier loud, where I got turned down the volume. I want it loud. So if she can't do that for me, I'm going to make sure she still doesn't do this with anyone else. Because when you're representing a university and you're doing this, there isn't such thing as them saying you're bringing the wrong attention here. We got to let you go. She ain't going to finish that PhD on my clock. She won't. And I know this sounds bad, but you have to take away things that are making people successful and doing the wrong that they're doing. You feel what I'm saying? So if we can get this out more, that this woman is scamming people and has been doing this longer than she kept a job, then yeah, we have to stand tall on this, you guys. We have to. A lot of people have been calling me obsessed with her. You're crazy. You must not have a job. Those are tactics that the womanhood uses to make me look like I'm less than. And I'm not. See, a lot of us work for themselves, so we can do what the fuck we want to do. See, we don't got to clock in and say, yes, sir, boss. We don't have to do that. She does. So what I'm telling you guys is the way that people change is you take away the things that are helping them do the damage that they're doing. See, the police don't care about what Rhoda's doing because she didn't give them an actual description. So they're not looking for nobody. They don't give a fuck. That's what an ongoing investigation means. Had they have arrested him like she claimed on GoFundMe, we got him to the cops and blah, blah, blah. That woman wouldn't have told me that it's still ongoing. They would have broke the news that they arrested a motherfucker with a brick. So I need y'all to understand. Before I started putting this heat under her, she stayed quiet and was occasionally telling y'all in the story what was going on. And then when I came with the fire, now she wants to post all the receipts. So thank me for that. And then a few days ago, the Shade Room decided to follow this bitch. Now, y'all know the Shade Room was the ones who broke the story with no proof, right? Now they're following her. I have the before and after. Why do you think the Shade Room is following her? And she approved them fast because I tried to follow her from a backup account that she knows nothing about, and she still hasn't accepted me in. But she accepted the Shade Room because they're verified and they got 28 million followers. And half of them are loudmouth hyenas that support her story. Y'all feel what I'm saying today? So what I'm saying is the Shade Room is only following her because they know that the truth is about to come out. And they want to be the first on scene. But forget that. Spiritual world already came out and said the bitch was lying. They just didn't use my proof. That's fine. But timestamps don't lie. But as a black woman, I'm not going to let this woman, this Somalian, this Muslim, this African American, whatever she claims to be, I'm not going to let her sleep until she apologizes for what she did. Our black men already have it fucking hard. So now you got people in Houston scared to go outside because you think there's a black man out there with a brick just waiting for y'all to come out so he can ask you for your number and clock you in the face. She's the only case that has happened in Houston. The only motherfucking case. You were just that perfect woman. You know how many women in Houston look better than her? And they, within their natural born bodies, they killing her on the face and looks and all that. And y'all think that that man chose her that night. Oh, she's just the finest motherfucker I've seen in my life. No, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't support that. So understand, guys, that I'm gonna be on her. I'm gonna be on her. And you can call me any name you want. But until she apologizes or has somebody say, yeah, she lied, we're her family, we didn't know. Her whole family is, they know what's going on. Shauna's proved that. Her family, Rachel knows this, her family is aware of the scams and they are doing nothing to hold her accountable. They want to see how far it goes because the Somalian community, they need resources. They need money. And she's like their star that can go out there and help them get the money. You got the body, you got the presence. Keep doing what you do. We know that she's not a lesbian. We know that she loves black men because her son came from a black man. She was about to marry Dr. Steve, who was a black man. So at the end of the day, y'all, it all adds up, but y'all not seeing it. Well, the sisterhood is not seeing it. Okay, so we have some people on panel. I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes. If you go off topic, I'm kicking you off. This is not the type of show where I'm going to let you just free ball it and talk about shit that we're not talking about. You have 3 minutes. Keep it short. Get to the point, and we'll go from there. The first person I'm going to let talk is OMAC. OMAC? OMAC, you're first.
Okay. Daphne, thank you for allowing me to be on the panel today. Just wanted to let you know I have subscribed and I've also Cash App today. So
Thank
just
you,
keep
sir.
up the good work. I want you to know that I've definitely followed this. And one of the reasons why I followed it is because I tried to bring out a logical breakdown to some family members of mine who unfortunately went the emotional roller coaster of just believing Rhoda. And I said, look, I said, none of this makes any sense. I said, there's no way in the world it went down this way. So I'm definitely glad that you as a black woman is also basically making sure that she is basically held accountable. I said, because when I started looking into it and then I saw all these multiple GoFundMe accounts, it didn't make any sense. I said, look, I said, this is looking very sus. I said, this is looking very sus. And the fact I was expecting if you get hit upside the head with the brick. Now, Daphne, just to let you know, I'm from Gary, Indiana. Now, so we know something about some street fighting. You get hit upside the brick, there should have been blood gushing all over the place. There wasn't. That was very suspicious to me. Then the fact all the multiple GoFundMe accounts didn't make any sense whatsoever. But just overall, I like what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep up the pressure, and I will definitely keep on donating.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the Cash App. Like I said, guys, one thing about me, all this information I've been digging and doing, I don't, get paid for anything that I do. I do this because I want people to be held accountable. It really sucks that men have to take the fall for some bullshit that they didn't do. If anybody went on TikTok during the time that Rhoda put out the bullshit that she did, they had all type of videos of women saying black men don't care about us. They hate black men. Black men will never be, better than the Brads and the Toms, white guys. And the attacks that they were doing based off of no proof, it angered me because a lot of these black women, they live for drama. And I want you to know that Rhoda's favorite TV show was The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was heavily invested. She made it seem like those were her friends. And any woman that is drawn to a fake ass show like that creates drama so you can tune into the next episode, it's like Love and Hip Hop. They'll say, oh, you monkey. and tune in to the next Love and Hip Hop. And you guys are hoping for somebody to get their ass whooped. Just like the Love and Hip Hop shit. Oh, Erica Mena is no longer on here. Y'all didn't think that they didn't see that before they aired it? So I need y'all to understand that drama gives you ratings. That's why the Shade Room loves this girl, because they know that lies are going to get them paid. And the Shade Room is ran by a Nigerian woman. So not to be racist or nothing, but Nigeria is a place of scamming. That's why I wanted Dr. Steve to clear the air, because you're from a place where majority of scams happen. They call and say, lady, we want to send you $3,000, but send us 500 first, and we send you 3,000. Okay, take it out of the 3,000, Jihad. No, we cannot do that. Scam, 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 scam. And if they can scam women like that, I know women right now that fell for that stupid shit. So he said he gonna send you $100,000 check. You just gotta send him 1,000. Yeah, and I sent it. He's supposed to be sending it today. Y'all can't be this fucking stupid. A lot of you women are fucking stupid. You are. I know women right now that fell for that stupid ass scam. I said, tell them to take it out of the 100,000. Well, why? Because it's all going to me. These women are not thinking. They're the easiest. I hate to say this, ladies, but you got black women are the easiest to trick. Derek Jackson proves that every time. You ladies keep gaining that weight. Keep eating all them calories. You are sexy with that fat hanging out of your shirt. But every woman he cheated on his wife with was fit and in shape and looked good. Make it make sense. He used that to get y'all to buy his weak ass shirts, his dumb ass books, and y'all fell for it. And he's been fucking 100 plus women on his wife. His wife who didn't wear a wig. His wife who didn't wear makeup. Come on, y'all. But y'all still follow that nigga, don't you? Y'all still help that nigga get sales and shit, right? So again, women are easiest to trick, especially if you bring a kid in. Oh, I have a son, and my black baby daddy, he hit me. Here's the mark, you guys. I just need a couple dollars. And they'll make it so low. They'll set the bar low. That's the trick, y'all. She's only asking for $415. Okay, that makes sense. She's telling the truth. She know that money gonna go up, but GoFundMe, it can go past 415. You can either edit the amount or just let it go up high as you want it to. But the whole gimmick is to add a child. The first time she got assaulted, single Somali or Muslim, single mother. When you add in the mother part, women just go crazy. Oh, poor baby. Y'all women need to learn how to not think on emotion and think on logic. And when you do that, you'll have money. You'll have a man too. So thank you, Omac. Next I want to
That,
go to
that's right. She's using her baby now.
and that's why the baby's gonna be taken. Like I said, y'all can call me all the names you want, but I used to work for the state and I'm still held to those morals. I won't let no kid be in danger. When I tell you danger, you got some guys out here that'll shoot the kids too. They don't care. They're that far gone. So when you're out here saying that somebody did something, she even had a name. I don't know if the Allen name is real, because all she said was, I think his name is Allen. He worked at a restaurant. She had all these details, but she didn't give it to the cops. So I said, Officer Espinosa, did you know that it could be a guy named Allen and he works at a restaurant? Like, how am I doing y'all job better than y'all? Y'all some lazy motherfuckers out there in Houston. Y'all can't be that bad out there. I'm doing their job because they don't give a fuck. They don't care about, I'm not going to say black women. They don't care about this incident because they know it's bullshit. They just don't want to tell her that. And then her go on TikTok and say, oh, the police don't like black women. They don't want that. They know that a black woman claiming racism, all those high hitters would be all over that case, right? So they have to make her think that they're doing something, but y'all know they're not. That's why that woman told me, what do you want them to do? We ain't got shit on this paper. There's nothing there. So when I tell y'all that I come with receipts, I even gave you bitches the number, but y'all won't call that number. Why? Why if you think I'm lying? Because you know I'm not fucking lying, and that's okay. Okay, so next I'm going to go to Mahmood. 3 minutes, you're on. Go ahead.
Hey, Daphne. Hi, everybody on the panel. I apologize if I sound horrible. I'm a bit sick right now. I did chuckle a bit when you said we need to bring that brick and the dude, because it made me have this image in my head of that dude. I don't know if y'all remember it, but that incident where this Iraqi journalist threw his shoe at George W. Bush. It kind of gave me that same image in my head, so I chuckled a bit. Is the ex-friend of Rhoda still on the panel?
I'm on here.
Hi, madam. If I may ask, we talked about her alleged affiliation with the LGBTQ community and all that. What I wanted to ask you is that she did add her quote unquote Muslim background as one of her badges, if I may say.
Correct.
In your time of knowing her, did she show any strong bondage with her religion or
No,
religious belief back then?
no, it was
Okay.
just more so I'm Muslim, alhamdulillah. It was very I don't want to be disrespectful, but it wasn't, like it wasn't a strong foundational affirmation to Islam. No.
I thank you for your answer, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you for your work, Daphne. I'll be in
Hey,
the chat right now.
Mahmoud, you don't leave yet. You have a question. Do you see it?
Is Mahmoud? No, I'm Iraqi, but I am Muslim, as you can see from my profile picture, and I am a practicing one. I did make a pilgrimage, so hopefully God accepts what I did.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Mahmoud, before you get off. You said you are Muslim, correct?
Yes.
Okay, well, since Rhoda also claimed to be Muslim too, is that normal for them to act that way? Do they cuss? Do they, shake their booty? Do they, do they do these type of things? Is that acceptable in that religion or no?
Absolutely no. There's, man, we even have sayings of the prophets that women shouldn't put on very strong perfumes because it woos the men.
Hmm.
And the men try to put the girls away, but sometimes women should help them by not showing off too much. And one of that showing off too much is putting scent that is too strong, that catches everybody on the streets gaze. So
Hmm.
just by
Okay.
that, her acting, her way of showing off her body and all that, it has no any alignment with any of our teachings about our women.
Thank
I'll
you,
leave
sir.
it at that.
I appreciate that. And guys, I did drop that link again to give you guys. I know a lot of you guys have questions for Miss Rachel and Shauna. I don't know if Steve is still on here because it's showing that he is. Let me check in. Steve, are you still there? Steve, are you still there?
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
right
to.
here.
Wow. Okay. So wow, you just scared me, Steve. So Steve said he been listening. So Steve has been listening this entire time, y'all. So if anybody has a question, hopefully Steve can answer it for you if he's able to. I'm glad that you've been listening to this, Steve, because now you've heard her character. You've heard the amount of damage that she has been doing. So whether she confirms it with you or not, I think the kind of woman that Rhoda is, she is not going to tell you that it's true because she needs you, Steve. Clearly, you were in love with this woman. She played on your heartstrings. And like I said, Steve is not an unattractive male, guys. He's a good-looking black man, and he has his shit together. Okay, so a type of man that Steve is, and the kind of money he brings in, he'll be a great mark for a scammer. So if anything, Steve got played, and sometimes when you love someone, we can't tell him how to act. We can't. We can only hope that he takes our information, soaks it in, and applies it. Let me see who else is on here. I think
I just
Daquan.
wanted to say something to the caller's question to Rachel. And I wanted to see if Rachel could verify this.
Go ahead, dear.
From my information, she's like the Beyonce of sorts in the Somalian community. How did this Somalian community feel about her in Minnesota?
I'm glad you asked that, and I wanted to add this. I see somebody on here that's pinned Somali African Pan Africanism. I wish you would invite him on here because I like some of the stuff he's saying. So I will say
Hold
this:
on 1 second, Queen. Who'd you say it was? Who was it?
Somalis against Pan Africanism. His
Okay,
comment
yeah.
is
The one I
pinned.
did, the one that I pinned.
I
So
wish
hey,
you could invite him to chat on
they
here because
can.
I'd love for him to attest to the Somali community and how they feel. Because I can only say so
Good
much.
question,
You understand
Rachel.
what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on, Miss Rachel. Somali against Pan. Can you come on? Because I
I
did.
wish I really wish
Gail.
he could because that
Hold
would
on, Miss Rachel. Um,
make me feel good if he came on here or she. I'm not
I
sure if you're male or
he or
female.
she. Okay, so I'm hoping that they hear this because they've been commenting all day and I've seen that too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that
But
you're able to come on. Gail just dropped the link. So Somali, can you come on here? If is there anybody else besides this page that represents the Somalian community that can attest to
my thing
this?
is this, I can give you all my perspective, which yeah, it's somewhat credible because I live in Minnesota. where we have the highest population of Somalis, but to get someone from her community, and it doesn't even have to be someone who actually
Okay,
knows.
Rachel, the person's on. Hold on, because I
Okay,
know that they're pressed for time. The picture's
Can you
funny. They have the Donald Trump. Go ahead and speak. Can I hear you?
can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. Why the Donald Trump picture? Just curious.
Oh, it's just to troll people. I
Okay,
like
go ahead. Okay, go ahead, hon. So everything that we've been learning about her and claiming that she's Somalian too,
Mhm.
is what she do. Is it okay? The things that she's doing. Go ahead and speak to us.
Well, in Somalia, it would. I don't want to use any words that could get your page dinged, but she would be dealt with harshly if she did this in Somalia. And a lot of this behavior that Rhoda and other Somali women are exhibiting is basically a reaction or like a counter to the Somali patriarchal society.
yes,
Because
yes.
back home, it's very, very repressive, and I will say that as a Somali. But I just have a quick question for Miss Rachel and for Steve. Well, for Miss Rachel, my question is, what's the relationship between Black Americans and Somalis in Minneapolis? Is
Woo!
it
Ugh,
or is it okay or
it's
and,
very
and, and
um it's very poor.
okay.
Again, me being introduced to Somali culture through Rhoda and her family, it is not a very strong bond at all. Even if you look at the Somali projects, Cedar Riverside, 5 minutes down the street, there's the Native projects, and it's a lot of non-togetherness, non-unity. I mean, nobody really gets along with the Somali community, probably outside of myself and a few others, but it's very alienated. Like, people are not drawn to the Somali culture just because, unfortunately, some of them, and I'm not saying all, because I mean, I have some people who are, people I've worked for, people, who are my actual friends, who are really good people, but unfortunately, when, of course, you mix a lot of taboo things in, sometimes Somalis do not like to hold themselves accountable for the shit that they do. And I think that's kind of Rhoda's thing too. And the relationship that Black people in Minnesota have with Somalis is not good at all.
Okay, so hold on. I want Somali. They want to know if you are Black.
Well, okay. Do I consider myself Black? I would say technically, yeah, but I would say I'm not a Black American. I'm not a FBA or a Freedman.
Okay. Gotcha. Now you also said you had a question for Steve, and he's been listening. Steve,
Yeah,
thank you, because I know you're supposed to be in bed, but
like
clearly you felt this was important. So go ahead and ask Steve your question, and then we'll move on to Daquan. Go ahead, hon.
okay, Steve, I just wanted to know, brother, have you ever been called a Jared or Adun by Rhoda or anybody close to her who is Somali?
Steve, did you hear that question?
Yeah, I had this question clearly. I've never been called that name before, but I think I know about those words. The Abdun, something like that. I think it has to do with a black man. It's like a cuss
No,
word. I can't
Adun.
remember exactly what
No,
that
no,
means.
Adun means slave in Somali.
It what? Slave?
It means
Yeah,
slave.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it
yeah,
means slave.
that's the right word. Yeah, that's the right word.
Okay,
No, I've never been called that before. But she told me about it that back home in Somali, that's what they call black people. I mean, I
right.
understand the Somalians
Wait,
think
hold
they're
on,
not. A
hold
lot
on.
of Somalians feel they're not black people.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
Steve,
is
she
true.
told you that back home, that's what they call people like us, American Black women. That's what they call
Yeah.
us, the Black people. Wow. Okay.
Well,
Wow.
Adun, yeah, no, but the
Mm,
thing,
Africa, like the
Adun
rest of
and
Africa, that's
Jared,
predominantly black.
it's a term for black people in America, West Africa, and also the Somali Bantu group. They're a minority clan in Somalia. So, if
mm,
a Somali calls you an Adun or Jared, those are fighting words. So I'm surprised that. Well, I'm not surprised that Rhoda would say those things
mm-hmm.
because I heard Miss Rachel say that that she has said those terms, but those are fighting words. That's what I want to just tell the black folks on this panel, if anybody calls you a Jared or a dude, those are fighting words. You should actually just not knock their ass out. I'm just being honest. All right,
Damn,
thank you so
I
much.
love your. So clearly,
I love his.
Steve
That's
said
why
that.
I'm on
Hold on, hun. Steve said that she has said that in reference to black people, the same people that are supporting this woman on TikTok, like the conscious Lee, right? He loves her, but not even knowing that she looks at him as a slave. Go ahead, Miss Rachel.
Oh no, I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, I'm glad that you let somebody on the panel that can really tell you about, just how the culture is, even if they can't attest to her specifically. It's not often that you're gonna get, too many Somali folks on here who are gonna tell
Correct.
things about the culture, and that is very important for people to understand, just her background, and how some people in her community, react to certain taboos, or women liberating themselves, or whatever the case may be. So I'm glad he came on here and shared that. That was
Okay,
really
I,
good.
I wanted to say something to Steve because I thought about something. Steve, you said that she got into it with your friend's girlfriend. Did she call her any names? And was she black? That's what I forgot to ask you, sir. Was that woman black that Rhoda got into it with when she was with you? Was that woman black?
Yeah, she's black. She's in Nigeria.
She was black. Did she
I
call her
remember the
any
names she
names?
called her. Yeah, she called her names, but I cannot remember the names.
Okay, understood. Okay, now Daquan has been waiting
Oh,
patiently.
I'm
Daquan,
so sorry. Rachel didn't answer my question about the community, the Somalian community there in Minneapolis. Do they like her? Do they rock with her or agree
Oh,
with how she acts?
oh,
I'm sorry.
sorry
Oh,
about
sure. So, this girl has unfortunately been getting unalive or death threats since the early 2000s, but that has not just been because of the way she dresses and acts. That's because some of them are so uber religious. They look at her like, oh, she's a disgrace, but she's also said some very questionable things to them, like, oh, death to all of you and fuck you Somalis and this, that, and the third. So she'll do that to them too, and that's why they kind of don't have. She has family here, of course, that'll ride for her, but the entire community, no. I mean, look at the way she dresses and behaves. They're not gonna rally behind her, and she's not one of their cover girls. She's not a girl that covers her hair and is modest and actually
yeah,
practices
yeah.
Islam or whatever. So
Now, Rachel, you're right about that. I saw a lot of the affiliations that Rhoda has. Those
yeah,
women, they're very covered up and they are not showing anything close to what Rhoda is showing. Rhoda
correct.
also made a post on her Facebook saying that a white man came into her inbox saying that he got 13 inches for her son. Now, let me tell you this. Anytime you get an inbox from someone making a death threat to you and you already got an active police report open, all you have to do is let the cops know. It's that simple. She ran to Facebook and said that people like me are the reason that she's getting these threats. But Rachel just made it clear that she has people in Minnesota that want her in a bad way. So again, don't be fooled by these inboxes that she's showing you. She could have easily sent that to herself. It's not hard to message yourself on Facebook if you have two accounts. So a man saying that he has a penis for her son and he's a white guy, you would think she would have taken that to the cops, right? And they can
Okay.
easily get into that man's account without needing him to give them his information. I want you to know that the cops have a high level of tactics where they can get into your Facebook, your Instagram without you giving them your information. It's that easy. They work with law enforcement. So understand that that was another tactic from the sisterhood. Because if you go to the comments, women were like, how could he say that about your son? And blah, blah, blah. Now, if you just said you got assaulted by a man with a brick, why would you post your son on your stories? Can someone clarify that? If I knew that there was still a man out there, I'm not letting you know what my baby looks like. That's private. So again, she wants to look like a victim. Instead, she's a lying motherfucker. And I am going to cuss, so forgive me about that, Steve and Somali. I cuss because I'm upset. Daquan, I want to go ahead and give you a chance because I'm going to be wrapping up soon. Daquan, you do have Steve on here. You have Miss Rachel and Miss Shauna. Go ahead, honey.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me clearly? I just wanted to make sure my mic is on.
Yes, you have a lot of. Are you out somewhere?
Yeah, I'm actually outside. I'm actually live at a Mets game right now.
Okay, well, okay, we do the best you can. Go ahead.
Um, Basically, I just wanted to give a slight comment. I'm not trying to take too long on time because I know other people got to wrap up. This whole situation has been horrendous. Need be if you want to just evaluate it from that standpoint. I can't deal with the fact
Daquan,
that somebody.
Daquan,
Do
we
you
can't
hear
hear
me?
you, man. It's loud. You need to go in the bathroom or something.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh
Am
shit!
I the only one, y'all? Because I get distracted when I hear other noises. Is it
Yeah,
just
I
me?
can't hear.
But say,
Nah,
man,
nah,
you need
nah.
to
I
keep
know. I
partying.
know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know.
Keep running. Now keep running. Look.
I'm out. Hold on. Hold on. Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yep. Go ahead.
You can hear me now? Okay,
Yep.
cool. I apologize. I just ran to the restroom. But long story short, this whole situation's been horrendous. I'm just pissed over the fact that she actually wanted to steamroll a black man for something that didn't have nothing to do with us at all to begin with. From what I'm hearing, women jumped on you. That's a completely different gender. A person that had a penis did not assault you. There's been multiple accounts. People didn't see anything happen at all. You just basically told a lie just to scam people to pay your bills. That's grand larceny in my eyes, and she should be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law. I don't wish nobody kids to be taken away from them
I
or
do.
any of that.
I do.
But this is unacceptable. Because if it was me, my kids would have already been in the system by now, and I would have been on Rikers Island.
Thank you.
I
Guys,
agree. I
when
agree.
Daquan,
It caused a huge divide between black women and black men while
correct.
she cloaks herself in blackness.
So hold on, guys. I want to know if October 3074. Are you addressing that to me? Why is she so loud? To anyone that's been following me and following me when I do my shows, this is how I speak. I speak like this. If it's loud to you, get your bitch ass off of my show. It's that simple. But these people come on here with these fake ass usernames talking shit. She's the only loud one here. Well, if I'm loud, then you shut the fuck up and get off the show and be somewhere where it's quiet because her disrespect to black men was loud. Did you think that was loud? See how quick these motherfucking sisterhood bitches come for me? And they always have something to say about me, but never about the person in question. How loud was Rhoda? Look at this and look at this. And he held the brick. She was fucking loud, wasn't she? So forgive me for being just as loud as her because the truth is going to be just as loud as her fucking lie. So October 3074, if you got a problem with that, you can get the fuck off of out of the chat and be gone. Because I'm gonna be louder than this, especially when this bitch finally tells the truth. At the end of the day, these women love asking me why am I this and why am I that. Ask yourself why this woman lied and put her son in danger. Just ask that. Y'all always ask the wrong questions, and it's never about the person that is on the spotlight right now. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all see that comment? This is what people do. People that support lying motherfuckers, they will continue to support them to the day they die. And you want to know why I'm loud. Anyone that's followed me, they know that this is my regular tone. And I'm not toning it down for no bitch. Real
Period.
talk. So sorry about that. We have Chaos on. Chaos, you're on 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, O'Shea kind of shout you out and share your little video of the call. Were you aware of this, Queen?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Anything else? Not really. My question, because if they now have to step in, and I'm not sure how old Rhoda's son is. I don't know if he's like 5 or 6, and how old the boy is. Wouldn't that give the validation to that the system to come in and might have to take the child away if the mother's pretty much not right mentally, since she's doing scheming for people's money? That's a question I want to ask you, Daphne.
You said, is she scheming for money?
No. I'm saying that she has a kid. They're
Right.
investigating. Once they find out, and they already know that she's mentally ill, when that they have the justification, DCS and all that other stuff to go in and say maybe we should take the kid, since now she is now going at creating stories, creating scenarios just to make money off the public.
So the way it works, they're not going to take they wouldn't take her son because she goes on TikTok and talks bad about people. That's her right. What they will do if they see that the son is in danger, which I think he is, because not only is she saying, "Oh, I'm getting all these death threats." If that was the case, you wouldn't have put your son out there. Secondly, she's being investigated for fraud. And with fraud comes penalties. Meaning, if they decide to take her son, they need to make sure that there's somebody there to take care of him. Her sister has 2 kids herself, a girl and a boy. She already has a lot on her plate, and there's no dad around in her sister's circle as well. So they're both single mothers relating to each other when it comes to that. But I just want to make sure that the dad knows that this is going on and it could potentially cause the wrong harm her way. Because when people lie, if there's people looking for her in Minnesota, there could be Johns looking for her from Minnesota, and her doing that video resurfaced. Now they know where she's at, somewhere in Texas. She's doing this to herself, you guys. If I knew I scammed people in other states, I'm not gonna post videos and let you know I'm now in this state. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But because she did that, she's bringing harm her way from past people that she did this to as well. And when you're being investigated for fraud, what if she's also committing food stamp fraud and cash fraud? You know, fraud is fraud. There's levels to the fraud. So if she's GoFundMe scamming and she's also scamming them saying, I don't make any money, she has 2 jobs. But if they know that she's been getting money from GoFundMe, so this is what I said. I showed them where she put her Venmo, where she put her Cash App and all that. They can ask her for receipts. We want to know how much you received this month. And she would be ordered to give that to the case manager to allow her to continue to receive benefits. Y'all see what I'm saying? So we know that somebody was sending her money through Venmo and Cash App. I know that for sure because all I saw on the comments was sent. Check your Cash App, check your Venmo. That tells me she got a lot of money. She got enough money to pay her court fees this year, September the 13th. And this court case was from November. She should have paid that shit in February when it generated the invoice, but she finally paid it in September. So she's getting money through other avenues until this GoFundMe money hits. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So yeah, Chaos, I hope that answers your question. We do have somebody else on here. I don't know who this person is personally, but Jacoby, is that how you say it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, Jacoby. You're on 3 minutes.
Yeah, so I want to give you your flowers. So congratulations on your 10,000 subscribing.
Thank you.
And everybody kind of took all the thunder, but I just kind of want to. I'm calling from Portland, Oregon, and I just want to say, I'm glad that you know, everybody is kind of turning over a new leaf and stay away from this woman. But this should have been dealt with a long time ago. And there was a lot of mean stuff that was said about black men, saying that they need to die, and maybe not in that direct sense, but a lot were saying, you know, the death of black men. And no one really came out and apologized and redacted. And this woman did. This woman does need to go to jail because what I fear, and I'm not trying to get this channel demonetized, that she gonna come up in a bag. I mean, that's what's going to happen to her, and it's obvious. Everybody sees it. If they can't get to her, they'll get to that child. They can't get to that child, they'll get to the boyfriend. And she don't seem to understand the ramifications of you going to Houston, Texas. You going to she was in Chicago, right? Was she in Chicago?
That's where she met
Yeah.
Rachel, I believe.
Her, yes.
But
Yeah.
she's not from
Yeah.
Chicago. No, we don't claim her
No,
here.
no. We don't claim her here in Portland either. So look, but and we've got our own issues. But I'm saying she's going to these states that don't play no games. So someone needs to do pick her up and save her from her own self. But what is the consequences for these the Lipstick Alley and Cynthia G and all that? What is the consequences for them for not redacting and do an investigation? They just digging their feet in, saying
There is no
it does-
consequences.
yeah. And what should we do to get those consequences? Because
Okay, so
I'm at a loss for it.
So Jacoby, that is why I filed the police report, because let me tell you, I also said this to people that live in Houston. If anyone lives in Texas, you guys can easily go down there and do what I'm doing and file a fraud report. That's what GoFundMe tells you to do, because some of them are lazy at GoFundMe. So they want you to also back it up with a fraud report. Because once you file that report, they have to investigate it. They have to look into it. And if she robbed a bank, they would have had her arrested already. But because it's GoFundMe and it doesn't really affect the police, and she's not stealing from a bank, they don't give a fuck. They really don't.
Right.
So that's why the officer here told me some of these police departments, you have to harass them. And not harass
Make
them
them do
physically,
it.
but calling them every day. They know me by name now. When I called the other day and I said Rhoda, they said Daphne. I was so embarrassed by that. I'm like, damn. So I'm the only one calling? Why am I the only one calling? Remember, I called 24 hours after it happened, and the cop told me, Detective Dillon said he hadn't heard anything about this. And I said, how, sir? It happened in your county, Travis County. Oh, I don't know. He said, this is my first time hearing it. I don't have a social media. He said, typically we tell people to come to us. not to TikTok. So that's basically what it was telling me. So even 24 hours after it occurred, they said that I was the first one to call. So when y'all say that those guys said that they called 911, how come they didn't tell me that 24 hours after? I don't believe nobody but what the law is telling me, because it's on a recorded line and they would not lie and lose their job. It's that easy. So what I'm telling you guys is that this woman, she could be in trouble for fraud. That's where we would go. She did not give them a description. Now, she said his name is Allen and he's 6'4" and he's black, and or he's 6'4" and he's Hispanic, whatever it could be. Now she's added a face, and now they got to go out there and look for him. But I'm telling you, when that woman was assaulted in New York for not giving up her number, they threw out a description of the motherfucker, right? And they found him in less than 24 hours. That's
Most
what you're
definitely.
typically. That woman didn't go on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and say, "Look what someone did because I didn't give my number." They got right on the case, and then after she
Yeah,
started doing interviews, after he was already apprehended, she did this the wrong way and backwards. Typically, when
but
you're
here,
a victim and there's a guy still out there, you don't go live from a hospital. You just don't
correct.
do that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Are you
because
trying to say something?
oh yeah, sorry, ma'am. Yeah, you're totally right. It's when I first saw it, it's like that don't look like a brick got hit to your face. I mean, I mean, and so and then she put those two brothers on blast, and now their names, their reputation is tarnished. And to me, that's just it's downright unforgivable because you put them in a position that they probably have other jobs, and now they could probably lose their jobs because they say, well, you're on social media. What did you do? So,
They should
people
file a
did,
defamation suit.
yeah, but and that's hard. That's kind of hard to do.
Listen,
So,
guys, and if she's telling anyone that she's gonna sue him, someone had shared with me their inbox. Rhoda
mm,
reached out to someone in their inbox and told them, "I'm gonna make sure I get you fired." Let me tell y'all, she is commenting. She is jumping in people's inboxes. She told this black man that she's gonna call his job tomorrow and get him fired, and then she's going to file a lawsuit against him for making threats. She made a threat and said she's going to also file a lawsuit on a threat. You can't make this up. The dude told her, "Do what you got to do, bitch, because I stand firm on what I said." So she has no problem with jumping in other people's inboxes and telling them, "I'm going to sue you." But she did not get Steve's inbox where he said, "Take my picture off of your page." So I want y'all to know that she wants y'all to think that she is engaged, but there is not going to be a wedding. So I need y'all to understand that this woman, she also lives in a fantasy land. I think that she's living that Real Housewife of Atlanta type shit. That's the life she wants. That's why she's twerking and acting a fool. She's living beyond her means. Now her back is against the wall and she's in debt. September the
man,
30th, you got to pay back on your student loans. You have
yeah,
to. You have to. So a lot of these people are getting real, scammy and saying, "You know what? Let me try something because I don't have the money to do this." Everybody that went to school and had loans was on this break because of COVID. Now it's time to pay up on your loans. So again, what I'm saying is it could be so many reasons why she's doing it, but I honestly think that debt is a lot heavier than she thought it would be. So again, guys, I want you to know that until she is held accountable, I'm going to continue to be on her because I can't let a woman do this, because after this is over, I guarantee you the next story is going to be far worse. Maybe this guy is going to sexually assault her and try to hurt her and try to kill her, and it's all stemming from what we accept. If we start holding these women accountable, they won't lie as much. I'm not gonna say anymore, because Carly Russell, you thought after that no black woman or no woman with a brain would try anything else, right? Well, look at Rhoda, and hers
yeah,
is the same. They always, and when Carly Russell went missing, they blamed the black man. Then when she told her story and said it was a white guy and his girlfriend and his baby was in the picture, then it was a white man. So what I'm saying, you guys, is men are always the fall guy for a story like this, and women believe it because it's a woman telling the story. Y'all believe it too easy. So again, I want to give one more chance for people to speak. I want to hear
okay.
someone different. If there's any women, I haven't heard
I
much
wanna,
from any women in the comments. I don't know if it's because women are scared, but I know that there's somebody in this chat that knows who Rhoda is other than Rachel. And I know that a lot of you guys are scared. I don't know why you're so scared of her, but what I do know is whenever she drinks, she's a different person. And that person shouldn't be around a child. That's all I'm saying. Especially a
Can I
person that doesn't,
I got some,
especially
yeah.
especially a person who doesn't recollect being almost kidnapped. That's
Yeah.
dangerous to not remember anything about this person who tried to unalive you, right? That's how y'all women say it.
It's the boy who cried wolf, you know, and she's gonna one day something is going to happen to her, and no one's going to believe her,
Yeah,
and she has
yeah.
no blame. She has nobody but to blame but herself. And yeah, get her ass, get her,
I'm
because
hoping
yeah,
that y'all go ahead, hon.
I'm sorry, because what we saw with the Me Too movement, the way that pendulum swing, they don't understand what the pendulum swing is going to happen when men get tired of it. And we just, a lot of us are kind of silent and trying to deal with it and kind of go through life.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, people say, "Oh, women don't have no man." If I go into the elevator right now, if I was able to go to the elevator right now, and a woman go to the elevator right now, she can accuse me of anything. That's it. That's it. So I'm not sure. I'm not understanding where what women don't have power or don't have rights. They have rights. I mean, you believe before anything. And then if it's true or not, nobody cares because the damage has already been done.
Right.
So I
Right.
just land my plane. So you
Okay,
have
so I
all
want to, guys,
yeah.
if you guys have any questions in the comments and you don't want to come on the panel, I respect that some of you guys don't want to speak. You don't feel comfortable, and that's okay. So now I'm gonna go to the comments. I know a lot of you guys have questions for Rachel and Steve and Shauna. So the first one is from Jesse. He said, "This is to you, Steve. Has Rhoda ever lied on you or any man you know personally or don't know personally?" So Steve, has Rhoda ever lied on you or someone you know?
No, I don't know about that. I'm not very certain.
Okay, so he said Jesse, he said he's not very certain on that. Okay. Anyone else have any questions? I'm looking at that now. I don't see any questions in here. Let me
Definitely
see.
add something real
Go
quick.
ahead, dear. Go ahead while I'm looking at the
Oh,
questions. Go ahead.
sure. So what I wanted to say too, kind of going back, for people that think that, she's going to apologize or admit any of this, it's never going to happen. And just the simple fact that you said she had inboxed people and DM people that she was going to sue them and all of this, it's interesting because her sister wrote me about maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and I sent you those screenshots, and
Yeah.
she painted this picture of, oh, my sister is traumatized and she's going through this and she's healing. Anybody who healing and traumatized, you ain't in nobody's DM sending them death threats and telling them you gonna sue them and kick their
Facts.
ass. This, that, and the third. Come on,
Facts.
don't try to
Facts.
this image and paint this narrative that, because there's a video of Rhoda, when she's in the hospital or the clinic or whatever, and she's showing you her face turning from side to side. Then she puts her hand over her mouth and like starts to cry or whatever. It's like, okay, so you paint this image of, oh, I'm so traumatized and I'm so hurt. And then her sister, yeah. And when my sister heals, her and her ex-husband can go live and attest to your character. Okay, that has nothing to do with your sister scamming folks, lying to folks, lying on black men and lying on black women. And that's it.
I heard that. That sounds like a rap song. You just hit a good 16 bars and said I'm done. So guys, I want you guys to hear this voicemail that this woman left on my phone. So this woman I called at the police station last week and I asked her, I was on her. Like I told you guys, Houston police, they don't like me. I can tell you guys that right now. I'm sure by now they're absolutely tired of me. I called about maybe 5 times last week. And the fifth time when I called, when I mentioned Rhoda's name, they said Daphne, and that really that made me feel like damn. So it makes me mad that I'm the only one calling, because I thought that people wanted the truth, but that just tells you how much they don't give a damn about the truth. And then a lot of people are scared to give the cops their name. I don't know why, but I have nothing to hide. I don't care. But when someone has priors for being intoxicated in public and attempting to drive a car, what if her son was in that car with her? She crashed her car, guys. It didn't say her son was with her, but can you imagine if he was? It was so bad that they had to do a series of field sobriety tests. She failed them, didn't want to do a breathalyzer, so he took her big ass down to the station and arrested her. What I'm telling you guys is that she has a character of drinking, and I'm hoping that she can stop drinking. I think that's the biggest thing in her life. She drinks. Now, we all go through things in our life that make us who we are today. But it's not an excuse to be a 304. It's not an excuse to be a liar, a scammer. It's not an excuse. It's not. What if I said, oh, I'm going to start drinking because my mom died when I was young? You're making excuses. Just like y'all made excuses for Sha'Carri, the track star, where her mommy died. That's why she was smoking them trees. I don't give a fuck. When my mom died, I was younger than she was. Much younger. And I didn't have my grandma. She had a grandma that she can run to the stands and hold. My grandma died the next year. I was still a child when I lost everyone. And I never picked up one joint. Never sniffed no lines of coke. We all go through trauma. That's an excuse. That's all it is. Because they didn't want her to take accountability. Oh, she's going through a lot. Lost her mom and this is going on. So, and we all go through adversity. It's how you come out of that shit that makes you who you are. Now look at her, clean, sober, running, winning track meets. You got to hold people accountable. That's how they grow. That's how they get better. But Black people tend to think accountability means hate. It means judgment. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. You want someone to do better. That's all. But anyways, I called the police station and I told the lady, how come you're not working with the news? I've been calling the news doing y'all job. And this is the voicemail that she left me. And like I said, this voicemail was left on Friday in the afternoon. We all know that on Friday in the morning is when Roda and Kiara, which I think they're the same people, updated GoFundMe saying that they found someone and they passed it to the police. If that happened, they would have broke that news that they have someone in custody. So now Houston residents, you guys can now be at ease. We have somebody in custody. That is the chain of command. There's no way they're going to have someone in custody or have a name and not tell the news so they can put people at ease, y'all. Y'all know how the news works. If someone breaks into your house, right, and they're doing break-ins, they have to let the public know so that they can be aware. So all I'm saying is this woman told me regarding the case number, it is a case number, but it's an ongoing investigation. That is code for we don't have shit. If she would have said it's an ongoing investigation, we have someone, we will update you when we can, then I say, okay, they have someone, it matches GoFundMe. So I'm gonna let you guys hear this voicemail and then I'm going to wrap up here. So make sure you have it because she wasn't that loud on here. So I'm gonna try my best to make sure it's loud. Okay, hold on, guys. And you'll hear her say police department because y'all know how people be saying anybody could have said that, but I can give anyone the number if they want and they can speak to the same woman. Here we go.
Hi, Daphne. This is Jody Silva with the Houston Police Department. I'm just returning your call. We had discussed a case number that you provided me about a female who had reported an assault. I can tell you that, yes, that is a case number, and yes, it is an ongoing investigation. Due to it being an ongoing investigation, we don't have anything additional we can share at this time, other than it has been reported to us, and we are looking into the allegations. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Y'all heard it. Now, if anybody has any ears, she said Houston Police Department. She also said something towards the end. We're looking into the allegations. Allegations mean that you have no evidence, no proof. He assaulted me. He tried to take me into a room. That's called an allegation. That's when you have no witnesses, no proof. She shouldn't have said that at the end. She kind of told on Roda when she hit me with that last line. We're looking into the allegations. Allegations? This woman said it happened. She said that they found somebody on GoFundMe just this morning. Why is it still an allegation? How come y'all don't have anything past that? So allegations mean that they're baseless words. They mean nothing. An allegation is what women have done to Chris Brown for the last 10 years. He tried to have sex with me. And then Chris Brown will release like a text thread or a voice note saying, Chris, give me the dick. That's an allegation. When you don't have any proof behind what you're saying. That woman told on Roda. And y'all just heard her say, Houston Police Department. If anybody didn't hear it because you got wax in your ear, I can send you the voicemail to your inbox. Let me know where to send it. But this is coming from the police department. Now it's an allegation. Allegation? This happened on September the 3rd. We're past allegation. Y'all supposed to have somebody in custody. And KU, they're telling me we can't help you because we have no details. So that reporter, Janelle, that I've been trying to work with Houston 11, they don't want the story because there's nothing behind it. I've caught them 7 times already. They're tired of me too, and I don't give a fuck either. I'm only doing it
Right.
so we can find the brick. That's what I'm thought. And the guy. So again, guys, you just heard the voicemail that was left on my phone. I made sure that I didn't answer it because I knew she would leave me a voicemail, and I knew she would say too much, and she did. So again, I want you guys to know that I'm on Rhoda's ass. That fake ass, I'm right on it, and I'm making sure that this woman doesn't do this again and hurt somebody or potentially hurt her own son. Because any woman that would do this, they don't value their kids. They don't. Because there's more to life than lying to get a couple dollars. And do we have some dangerous black men? We do. But Rhoda doesn't live where I live. Rhoda originally lives in Austin. So I have to ask why she was in Houston. They're not next door. It's not like going from Chicago to Schaumburg, a jump and a skip. They are far from each other, hours away. It's not next door. Houston and Austin are not next door. So she brought herself all the way out of her element to pull this scam instead of staying in Austin. She lives in Austin, goes to school in Austin, works 2 dead-end jobs in Austin. That's where she's from. Not from, but that's where she's been living. We all saw her apartment because she's stupid like that when she saved the dog. And yeah, this is where I live. It happened in Austin. She was telling on herself. So what I'm saying to you guys is she brought herself out there to Houston. She did that. I want y'all to understand that. That's, to me, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And I think maybe she did that for Labor Day weekend, right? We usually go out of our element for Labor Day weekend. We go somewhere else. Maybe it was a trip, but she wasn't by herself, y'all. If you listen to her third version of the story, she said, we didn't let him get in the car. We prevented him from getting in the car with the black women. We. Who's we? Who's we? There hasn't been one witness that said I was with her that night and my friend was attacked. There hasn't been no credible witness that was actually with her, next to her, at the club with her. So again, what kind of friend is that? And then you get an American person's name, Kiara Davis. But the last person that did your GoFundMe had a Somalian name. You can't make this up, you guys. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. All I'm telling you guys is to use your logic. This woman played all of y'all. And I know she don't like me. I'm glad she doesn't like me. I want her to hate me because she fucked with the wrong black woman. You're not going to throw our black men under the bus because your ass couldn't keep one. That's the truth. You couldn't keep an American black man from Philly. And now you want to sit there and just... Now, here's the thing. The American black man didn't work. And now the Nigerian man didn't work. So, Rhoda, you're the problem. You are the motherfucking problem. You had an American man, a non-American man. It's your pussy. You might have got the BBL, but maybe you missed some stuff. That's what I'm thinking. They don't want you. And don't claim you're an African American because you're not. You're not one of us. You're not. You claim that other shit, but you can't claim us. You're not going to sit there and speak on us.
Exactly.
You fucked with the wrong American black woman. That's what you did.
She's black, but she want to be when she wants somebody to unite.
Exactly.
Somali.
Check this out, guys. Everybody on TikTok was a black woman with anger. Look what this black woman went through. Consciously, I thought he was a black woman too. The dress threw me off. I thought he was a woman. That's a whole black man saying that this woman is right. I tagged him. I sent him all my proof. He has not gotten back to me. He's no different than a woman. They don't want to hear the truth. When you show them the truth, they're Stevie Wonder all of a sudden. They don't see anything. They can't see. Something's wrong with Rhoda. I think she gets temporary blindness when accountability comes into play. But I'm about to correct you. I'm going to be your Visine, Rhoda. I will be your Visine. Because you're not going to be around here.
I think she likes it. When I was interviewing Rachel, at first, I was like, I just want to smoke her out. And I think I'm paraphrasing, but Rachel said she's probably more than likely enjoying this and laughing. And I don't know why people didn't even just take it from the start that no credible news channel, media reported this story. No one except for a shade room. They're not credible.
Okay,
to me, you know what news they covered, because when they cover everything, they have to still deal with the integrity, because Anthony put, especially any claim of false propaganda, they gotta make sure they're on point where it gets you thinking and guessing it might be true or not. They can't put up anything on me now. They have to be very careful what they do.
Hold on. So not just that. There was a news station that reported it on YouTube, Fox 26. It was a black man, and he had 3 black hyenas on his panel
Oh, you
talking
mean
about why.
the
Hold
guy?
on, let me finish, please. And he was talking about why black women aren't protected. They were just like, yeah,
Mm,
that to me doesn't count as news because a lot of people don't have YouTube and they're not looking at YouTube for the news. So
hmm And that's
if it wasn't on a news station here in Chicago, that when they report serious crimes like that, like they did the woman in New York, I watched it on the news here in Illinois. And I felt bad for that woman because it was the truth. But what I'm saying
hmm
is no credible news station wants her story. I contacted so many. They're tired of me. And I'm glad they are. Because you're going to be even more tired this week. I'm not letting Rhoda get through with this, you guys. I'm not.
she's
And she
like,
probably is laughing at us, and that's fine. But know that any one of these blogs, like Cynthia G with the one with the bang, she did
mm-hmm,
come out and say that she supports Rhoda and that
mm,
black men did
mm-mm,
this and all that. Remember, y'all, she's a cum bucket,
yeah,
She's a baby mama. She picked a black man that had like she picked a black man that had like 5, 6 kids already, and he made her the newest baby mama. So she's the
hmm
don't open your mouth,
God
Cynthia.
damn.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the
Rhoda
fuck
is
up,
like,
Cynthia G. Hold on. I need y'all to mute
mhm.
yourself. This is for Cynthia. Because I know she listens in too. You shut your ass up. Because I'm on your ass too. And the next show I'm gonna do, that's gonna be this year, it's gonna be epic. Because for years, Cynthia G has used her platform to drag black men, even though she opened her legs up to one that had kids already and became another baby mama. So
Oh
she's mad at the
shit.
world. Most of these women that hate black men, it started with a black man treating her like she was a cum bucket, and that's what she is. So now she likes white men. But bitch, I know a lot of stuff about you that they don't know. And I just want to make sure that when I drop this tea on Cynthia G, it's gonna be the best show in the history of YouTube. Because
Shit.
but I have to make sure that I don't get sued and that I don't get in trouble. I have to make sure it's along those lines of me being safe and protecting myself and my brand. But I'm telling y'all, I've been investigating Cynthia for the past 2 years. That's how deep this goes. That's how deep it goes. And a lot of people say, well, I can never get close and I can never figure it out. I have it all. I have it all. The reason why I haven't done nothing yet is because I have to make sure that when I drop this, she can't get me back the legal route. I'm not trying to pay this woman to get a better wig. We know she's been wearing that dehydrated wig for many years with the bang. So we know that she needs the money. That's why it's a profit when you talk about black men in a negative light. Those women, they love it. Because on her page, all those women that were supporting it, there was another woman on there that said men should die. Well, I'm letting you know now, I ran your information. And the fact that you are engaged to a black man, I'm gonna send them everything you said on her channel. Let me say this one
What?
more time to these women. Anyone that follows these pages who support bashing black men and talking so negatively about black men, be careful what you post on the comments. I go through that shit. Some people think I'm weird, but I go through that shit looking for the right comment that I can use. And when you say that men should die and you're actually engaged to one and his family's black too, how do you think they would feel when I send that to all their inboxes as a gift so that he can cut off? See, a lot of these women, they fake hate black men to aid in lying. It feels good to them that they can be someone else, but they keep forgetting that even you can be found, even with a crazy username. Your username could be 1234 as YouTube, and I can still find who you are. There's a lot of mistakes people make on YouTube, and I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I'm telling you, I like to go into comments and find things that people say that are not right. So a lot of these women don't really hate black men. They're just saying this because it's fun. It's convenient to be negative, to aid in that. Yeah, girl, I feel you. Black men need to die. Yeah, yeah. But when you say something like black men need to die, and you're about what? I think your wedding is in November. And she knows what I'm talking about. Your wedding is in November, bitch. Well, it ain't gonna be in November no more. It's not. I promise you, you won't be getting married in November to this black man when you just said black men need to die. So, ladies, please be careful what you say on YouTube because your comment is public. It is. Unless they make it private, I can see it. And it's fair game. And it's fair game. And when you're talking about black men dying, to me, that's a threat. I don't think you should be marrying one in November if you don't think they should be alive. So, how do I know you're not marrying him, getting life insurance on him just for him to die? See, I have to protect this black man, and I will. I will protect this black man. I know who she's getting married to, and I'm about to ruin her life when it comes to the marriage. You're about to be a single bitter bitch supporting Cynthia G, who got your ass in trouble. So I'm telling you, ladies, if you really don't hate men, be real with yourself. Don't sit up here and trash these men because you made bad mistakes in your life. Cynthia G, you are the biggest hypocritical hyena I know because you have a bastard by a black man. And yet, you come on your show every day talking negative about black men because your ass couldn't keep one. A lot of you women can't keep one because your mouth, shut the fuck up. Shut up. If you shut up, you might be married one day. You might be in a relationship. But when you use your platform to bash men and then you work with people who are black, oh, Cynthia, I hope you love your job. Because I'm doing damage control. And everything I'm doing is fair game. I just have to make sure when I break it on YouTube, I don't lose my page for good. Because y'all just hit 10K. So I'm thinking of maybe I'm going to create another YouTube just to expose Cynthia so y'all can take pictures and keep it for your records. She can get that one shut down, but I can't let her get this one shut down. So to those that I trust, you will get the backup YouTube account. And it is going to be a slaughter. And I'm not talking about physical slaughter. This is going to be the best show ever. And I'm thinking about doing it in October. I want people not to see it coming. So I just want you to know that I've been studying Cynthia G for 2 years. And a lot of people don't even use their real name. I'm not giving y'all any bits. You're going to have to attend my show to know what I got. But just know that a lot of this stuff you see her doing, it's a facade and it's working. She's just like Rhoda. You make it sound good so you can get the money from women and women will donate to you because they feel you. Yeah, girl, he ain't shit. Yeah, Pookie ain't shit. But you fucking Pookie every night. You making people think that you like white men when you love black dick. Stop the cap, ladies. Stop the cap. Okay, so I'm about to wrap up, but I know that somebody else has some questions, but hold on to the panel. Give me 1 second. I saw some questions earlier. Someone asked a question to Steve. I'm trying to go back. I don't see it now. I think I can't find it.
All right,
Hold on
thank you.
1 second, y'all.
I'm about to go. Take care, Daphne.
Okay, yeah. You have a good day, hon. There was somebody that asked some questions and I don't see it now. Where'd it go? Someone had was it Princess? Princess. I think Princess was the one that asked these questions. I can't find them now. I don't see it on here. But she did have a question for, I think, Rachel. She said, why did y'all friendship end? I think that was the first question. Rachel? Why did you and her friendship end again? I don't think she heard it.
Because basically she called me a fat bitch back in 2020 with the whole shit from the club, and I was a mansplainer and all of this bullshit. And that brings me to my next my next point I wanted to bring out too. I think, and I want to make sure I'm wording this correctly. This is purely my opinion. I think that there are black people, specifically black women, who are profiting from white supremacy. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. I think Shanna had told me something about crisis actors. And I know that might be a conspiracy to people, but I do believe that there are black folks, especially black women out there, who get on this feminism train that wasn't even designed for us. It was designed for white women to be able to fucking vote. And I believe that there are black women who attach themselves like Rhoda. Oh, feminism, girl power. I hate men. Fuck men. Yeah. This type of stuff. I do believe that there's some white guy sitting in the tower somewhere, pulling the strings, laughing at all this, saying, you know what? We don't have to try to divide black and white people anymore. Let's just let the black men and the black women tear each other the fuck apart. Remember the Squid Games and how the old man, he liked looking at people kill themselves and shit?
Yeah.
I really and truly, and this is my opinion, I really and truly believe, and I'm not saying Illuminati and all that bullshit, but I believe that there is some group or organization, just how they said George Soros was a racist and he founded Black Lives Matter. All black women spent the money and bought houses. I believe that people like Rhoda and some of these ignorant ass bitches in the comments and online, I believe that these people are paid by these organizations to cause chaos, to act a goddamn fool, to represent black women in the lowest possible light that they possibly can. And then it's this chaos, and then you got white folks, I'm pretty sure they're laughing at it. It's like, oh, this is good, let's make a movie. Don't be surprised if you see some shit like this pop up on Netflix.
Okay, you know what? It was Princess. So Steve, I want to ask you this question too, because I don't think they heard you when you covered it. Princess wanted to know, what was your reason behind the breakup with Rhoda? Why did you guys officially break up? Like you said, what was it that did it for you?
I think we had. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Go ahead, hon.
So we had a little misunderstanding about some monies that was supposed to be paid to her. About it was a mortgage, something like that. She requested for about $8,000. So I said, okay, I was gonna get you the money, but then I need to know what's going on. What you need this money for? And then she got upset that I said, oh, she was shitty, and that was how we came to where we are at the moment.
Wait. So
It
you're
was a
saying
whole lot
that,
of. She said
Steve?
she
I want to
got.
make sure I heard you right.
Sorry.
Steve, can you hear me? So you're saying that Rhoda asked you for
Yeah.
$8,000 for what?
She said she co-signed a mortgage for a friend of hers, and then it was her responsibility to pay up. If not, she was gonna get a card. So I said, this is not very clear to me. I understand. I don't know how the mortgage works in America, but I was like, I need more information regarding this because I'm not very clear with this. And then she got upset that I was asking a lot of questions. I think that was part of the
Okay,
reason why.
wait, Steve. So I asked you earlier, did you know of any of these scams? She tried to scam you. Rhoda asked you for 8,000 so she can co-sign on someone getting a mortgage loan. You didn't give it to her, so all of a sudden she became the Hulk. So, and when you asked her for more information, you asking her for proof that she's doing all this. If she was telling the truth and not scamming, she would have sent you the proof. She did it. So that was a scam right there, sir.
At some point, she equally requested for medical documentation that needs to be altered. And I said, in my career, I can't risk that getting you a medical documentation
Okay,
that
hold on,
is not in tandem
Steve.
with what the law says.
Okay, hold on, Steve. Steve, you didn't tell me that. Hold on, hold on. I want to make sure I just heard what you said because I try not to get
I just
ignorant.
remember that
Steve,
now.
no, it's okay, Steve. I didn't ask
Yeah.
you because I didn't think to ask you. You're telling me that Rhoda wanted you to forge a medical document. Is that correct?
Yeah, there was a time she asked me for such a medical documentation, and I said, listen, I can do that because it's against the ethics of my profession, and then also against my own principle as a man. So she got really, really mad because I said that was a whole lot of shitty deal, and she got mad.
Okay, wait,
So
wait. Let
there
me
have
ask
been
you
some
this.
situations where we had that.
Okay, wait. When did she ask you to forge a medical document? Was it this month, Steve?
No, not this month. That was about
When
like
was
three
it?
months ago.
Okay. So, guys, hold on 1 second, Steve. Steve just said that
All
Rhoda
right.
asked him to forge a medical document. And if Steve had done that, he would have gotten in trouble. He could have lost a lot, right? So, remember, she had a medical document that was signed by a guy named Aaron Oates. You know what? Let me ask you this, Steve. If you're going through your first year of residency, are you allowed to do doctor's notes for patients?
Sorry, say that again.
If you're in your first year of residency, are you allowed to do doctor's notes for patients, even if you did not see them as the primary doctor?
No, I have to see the patient before I could do a consultation. No,
I can't hear you, sir. Can you say that again?
it must be patients that I've seen during my consultations before I can read such a note for them. But I don't see.
Thank you, Steve. Guys, if anybody was following Rhoda, Rhoda had a doctor's note with no letterhead, and it was just a typed up letter saying that she needed to be out of work until September the 10th. And then it had an email for a man named Aaron Oates, who is in his first year of residency. So he gave the note, it was his student email. Steve just said you would have had to actually see the patient as the primary in order for them to write the doctor's note. We know on Rhoda's document it said that Jennifer Cornell was the primary doctor who saw her and was the main person, but yet you had the guy in first year residency write the doctor's note on a blank piece of paper that didn't have a letterhead. Guys, you can't make this up. Then she asked Steve to forge a medical document just 3 months prior to the scam. Guys, I can't make this up. So
I'm
clearly,
telling you, it's
Steve didn't see it. Hold
premeditated.
on. Steve didn't see this because Steve was in love with this scammer. I want y'all to know that everybody makes mistakes in their life, so I'm not gonna judge Steve for liking the booty. She probably made him feel like he was a good guy or whatever. But I want you to know that she tried to get this man to forge a document. So, Steve, it sounds to me like you were the mark, sir. She used you because she knew you were in the medical field and she might have needed you. And let me ask you this. What did she want that medical document to say, sir? Just help me with that.
I think she had a court case that she needed to be at the court, and then she couldn't go because she needed documents to say that she wouldn't be able to come to the court, and that was what it was about.
Oh,
Whoa.
Steve, that was for that court case that I sent you to your email, sir. When she got arrested in November of 2022 for crashing her Dodge into that wall, she was highly intoxicated. They arrested her for that. She owed big fees. She was supposed to appear in court and didn't appear in court. Steve, you can't make this up, sir. So she wanted you to forge a document to bring to court, and you would have lost it all, sir. You would have lost it all. So, guys, think about this. Steve said, I'm not going to do it because I'm held to ethical morals. He's not going to do it. But she got a guy named Aaron Oates to do it. Guys, you can't make this up. Now, Aaron might lose his license. He might lose it all. And he's only in his first year of residency. And his graduation date is 2026. And then he'll be able to practice. He just messed it up for himself, lying for Rhoda. So, like I said, guys, she tried to get Steve to forge a document to get her out of court from when she got arrested for being intoxicated and crashing her car. I need y'all to understand that this woman is dangerous. She was trying to use Steve to forge a document and bring it to court. Do you understand how bad that would have been for this black man that's in the medical field? He would have lost it all. Do y'all think Rhoda would have protected him if it came down to it? She would have said, well, Steve told me to do this. He didn't want me to be there. She would have threw you under the bus, Steve. So look, Steve, it looks to me like there were 2 times that she showed you that she was a scam artist and you didn't see it. So, Steve, I don't know how much more proof you need, sir. At this point, I think you should definitely cut her off. I really do. Because if she can get another guy to forge a document for her, then, I mean, think about that. It had another guy on there, and he is a black man. His name is Aaron Oates. And that's who she got to write that doctor's note, excusing her from work. So I'm just saying,
And
Steve,
he
I
is
hope you see
nowhere
now.
on those discharge papers. Nowhere.
No, but here's the thing. Aaron was on the record for actually being one of the people that saw her. It was like 8 people down there. Remember that? It was like 8 names on there. But the primary person was Jennifer Cornell. So if she's your primary, that means she saw you the most. She should have been the one writing that doctor's note. That's all I'm saying. And then I've never heard of a doctor giving you his school email. That does not make any sense. Anything that ends in edu is education. That's an email for someone in school. If you're at a hospital, it will be the hospital. Y'all feel what I'm saying today? So Steve just got out of being almost scammed twice. She wanted $8,000 from him. That didn't work. And she wanted him to forge a document just 3 months ago, y'all. I can't make this up.
In
So
the ring. In the
Rhoda, if
ring.
you're listening,
Daphne,
Rhoda, go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt you. I have one question. Can I ask Steve one question?
Yes, boo. Go ahead.
Okay. You're a medical doctor. Did you meet her in 2020, Steve?
I didn't hear you clearly. Can you say that again?
My question to you, I know she was talking to, she had a doctor that was like flying her out back in 2020. Did you meet her in 2020?
No, I met her last year.
You're another doctor.
What?
Okay. Let me say this because somebody commented and I saw one of the comments that she did this at 7 Steakhouse. That's where we were tonight in 2020 of her little incident. She was dealing with a doctor back in 2020. And honestly, I thought it was you, Steve, but I had to really open my brain a little bit. She is the type of person who, you know how they'll say, have you a friend that has a boutique? Have a friend that's a lawyer?
Right.
Have a friend
Right.
that's a doctor? She
Right.
does. I know even when I met her, she had friends of all different. Oh, this person's a lawyer. This person's this. She was dating a doctor that bought her Chanel bags back in 2020, flew her out to different countries. She really, really liked him. I thought that was Steve. So that was a completely different doctor. And I can't say for sure if she did, but I'm pretty sure she probably used him to get whatever excuse or whatever it was. She called him on the phone. We were outside the club, and this whole time I'm thinking you the same person. So you see, that's just how she is. She wants people in certain fields to be able to vouch for her.
She plays you, Steve. Steve, she already was talking to another doctor. I'm thinking, guys, look, this is what I'm thinking that happened. I'm thinking she was looking for someone that can help her forge a document when she was in need. And mind you, she knew that if she played this game about being hit with a brick, she was going to need somebody in the medical field on her team. She tried to get Steve to forge a document just 3 months ago, y'all. And if anybody looks at that paperwork from Aaron Oates, it said that she's excused for work. I'm thinking Rhoda just typed out a letter, printed it out, had him sign it. But one thing I know doctors would never do is give you their school email. I mean, even Jennifer Carnell has an actual email with the hospital. So all I'm saying, you guys, is that it's not adding up what she did. But the difference is I got somebody waiting to get a call back from Aaron's dad. We're just going to let him know that your son could be in trouble. Because if he did forge this document for this lying hyena, there's no need for him to finish his residency. They will kick his ass out. And all those years that it took to get there, it will mean nothing. And all he's going to be left with is student loans. So do y'all see that? Whatever she did to make this man do that for her, unless she did all of that herself and just picked a name out of the bunch and said, I know I can do that with him. That's all I'm saying, you guys, because no doctor would ever give you their school email. That isn't professional. That means you're still in school. Duh. Make it make sense. A nurse who's going through clinicals or doing the last part of their externship, they can't go and see patients and prescribe shit. You're not done. There's a point of why they do that residency for 4 years. He's not set to graduate until 2026. And that's the man that wrote the doctor's note for Rhoda. So again, Rhoda put his name out there. Now we have a lot of issues going on. So again, Jennifer Carnell should be coming back from being out of the country on Monday, and I'm going to talk to her. Because if you got this man representing your hospital, your school, this could be really bad. So I told you guys the T writes itself. So we know for sure that Rhoda tried to scam Steve 2 times prior to this happening. And one,
Three.
she wanted
Three.
him three. And 3 months ago, she wanted him to forge a medical document. So guys, you mean to tell me that she couldn't get another man to do it who's desperate, who likes booty and titties? It's not hard to do. So again, guys, it writes itself. Steve, thank you for hanging on for this whole time, man. I appreciate you for being in the back end. But I want you to know, Steve, if you really want to keep the job you have and the reputation you have, you got to cut her off. And you got to get it in writing. Telling her through text, hey, I'm seeing a lot of things. I'm hearing a lot of things that I can confirm. And it's not what I want to be associated with. I'm going to have to cut all ties with you. I wish you the best. Get it in writing. Because what I'm saying is, if you don't, she can take you down with her, sir, since you are in the medical field. So all I'm saying, you guys, is I hope this shows you guys a lot more about who Rhoda is. And anyone that's continuing to donate to GoFundMe, shame on you. Because that means you are really that dumb. And the Somalian community who's commenting on GoFundMe saying we got her back, that doesn't represent the whole community. We know in Minnesota they want her in a bad way. So again, guys, you can't believe what you see. Okay? All I know is that we will keep tabs on what's going on, and I'm gonna continue to give you guys the tea. Okay? So I'm gonna give everybody on panel a chance to say their last words, and then I gotta wrap up. I want to start with Miss Shauna.
I'm just gonna say I think she's dangerous. I think she's Carolyn Bryant in blackface. With Emmett Till instead of a whistle, he wanted my number.
I heard that, girl. And I know you're still going to be looking at this case too. Am I right? Because I know you've been all over
Absolutely.
Facebook. If you guys want to know where Shauna's at, she's all over Facebook on Rhoda's on her post, talking like telling her it ain't gonna happen. You ain't getting shit. She is on her ass. So to any black men who think that I'm the only one, you got Rachel, you got Shauna, you got a lot of black women down at night that actually go hard for you guys. We want Rhoda to be taken down the legal way. I'm not talking about death, but taken down. And we want her son to be safe. Okay, Miss Rachel, your last words, boo.
Oh, yeah, like I was gonna say, this GoFundMe that she has, any of y'all who are supporting her, no matter whether you Somali, black, white, whatever, she not giving y'all no fucking money. I don't know how long some of y'all might have known her if y'all are listening or whatever, but as you can see, she's a user. She's going to use you until she cannot use you anymore, then she's going to discard you. So that's why she and I are no longer friends. The fact that she disrespected me, was not sincere about her apology. She has no respect for anybody. She cares about nobody but herself. And she gonna meet the right one day. I don't wish nobody to do nothing bad to her.
I do.
But it's gonna happen.
I do.
It's gonna
I
happen.
wish it if you're living it. You can't tell someone that steals for a living. I hope no one ever catches you stealing and blows your head off, because you know that's probably not gonna happen. If someone catches you stealing in their house, bye-bye. You got to hit them with the truth. You better
gonna get it. She gonna get what she's looking for, and it's just real sad. It's real sad, but I don't care. And I want to say this to her and her family. I do not care what y'all think about me. Any fucking thing that I did in my past, I'm very proud of everything that I've done. I might have a high school diploma, baby. You can't do nothing with that master's degree and that PhD student title you got because nobody's gonna hire you. And that's it.
I heard that. And look, Steve just got off and dropped the mic. Steve said, I'm out of here for real. Y'all, I want y'all to know that Steve hung on for the whole time,
I
y'all.
know.
And
I support
mind you,
Steve.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell you where he's at, but where he's at, it would have been 9 o'clock when I started my show at 1. It was 9 p.m. there. So he hung on for 3 hours. It's almost what? Is it midnight there now? So now he's already on Monday where he's at. So this man gave me this much. No blog was able to get Steve to come on. And I want to say thanks to Shauna because she started that. She was like, look, I sent him your videos. He knows who you are. She opened that door. Steve did read my message, but he didn't know who I was until Shauna told him. And then he decided to do this. So him giving me 3 hours of his time, I'm thankful that I'm the only page on YouTube that was able to get him on here, right? To anyone that wants to know how to support my channel, I put it up there. I am not monetized right now. Remember I told you guys when I had held those women accountable for exploiting their kids on my YouTube, I got a strike. I am not eligible to be able to resubmit until the end of October. So until then, there's no super chats. So you can't send me nothing on YouTube. That's why I did not do videos, guys, because of that reasoning. But there is a way you can send and donate to my Cash App. Rachel, what is your Cash App? Gail, put this in the comments too for Rachel and Shauna.
How do I add it?
No, just tell us what it is, and Gail will put it in the comments.
So it's all lowercase. It's Minneapolis, and Minneapolis is spelled out Minneapolis.
Yeah, girl. All that spelling, just go ahead and put it in the comments so I can highlight it.
Wait a minute. I got to see how I did it. I'm sorry.
You too, Shauna. I want to make sure you women are
bad.
appreciated. Look, Steve came back. Steve, I was just saying thank you for giving me your time, sir. I know she's gonna try to reach out to you, and if she does, if you want my advice, cut her off. If you don't, then Steve, you're asking for whatever comes with this. I don't want you to be in the line of fire, but when you associate yourself with a scammer and they know you're from Nigeria, they're gonna think that you're part of the scam. So again, do what you can to separate yourself from this hyena because she's loud, and the spotlight isn't looking good. But just know that she lied to you. She tried to scam you because you were an easy mark. And I want you to know, fellas, women that have nice bodies, they know what you guys like. They know that you guys are sexual creatures. All it takes is them to rub their butt on you, and bam, you are hard as a rock. What I'm trying to teach you men to do is use your logic. If you don't trust a woman, if she can't tell you where she works and prove it, then that's the first sign of you needing to get out of that relationship. You should never have to prove your income, but she's not doing it in the same fashion. That's not how life works. But I want y'all to know that she has more victims out there. And if anybody has been a victim of Rhoda, reach out to me. We can add that to the police report because you can file a claim online with the Houston PD if you are a victim. I couldn't do that online because I'm not a victim. I didn't send her no money. But if anybody sent her money on GoFundMe and you want your money back, you can file a police report online. And if they get a whole bunch of them bitches, they are going to act. I promise you guys that. I promise. Some people sent her money just to say, you scamming motherfucker. I would still ask for my $1 back, $2, whatever you sent her. Get it back. But I want y'all to know that this woman, she's very dangerous and toxic. And Rhoda, if you're listening, I hope that you do the right thing. Because if you don't, I'll help you do it. And you need to stop drinking. That is really bad for you. You can't handle yourself when you're drinking. And no mother will ever do that to their child. But you've been doing it to your son for years now. When are you going to grow the fuck up, Rhoda? You're 33 years old. 33. And this is how you're choosing to act. And I hope that the University of Austin, I hope they do the right thing too. Because just like you guys were supporting her, you now have to hold her accountable. That is a part of support. Telling people when they're wrong too. That's how they grow. Rhoda has been doing this for too many years and she has met her match. I'm not going to let this woman do this again to anybody. I'm not. I have to protect people. Her son is important, even if he isn't my family. You know, her sister might not give a fuck, but I do. Her brother or family, they might not give a fuck, but I do. You feel me? So, ladies, I want to say thank you again. And Steve, did you have anything else you wanted to say, sir, before I close out?
Yeah, definitely. And Shauna, I want to thank you for everything. Matter of fact, you have brought this information to me, and I really do appreciate it. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to block her tonight because there's no point. The evidence is right there staring at me. So there's no point trying to get more information from her because she's just gonna keep lying to cover up whatever existing lie she already told me previously. So the best thing is to do is to cut her
Yes.
out right away, which I'm doing right
Yeah.
now. So
I
Y'all,
would
and
that's it.
Steve,
Thank you very much. I'm
Steve
grateful
said,
for everything.
you're
you are
welcome.
welcome, Steve. Steve
You're
said he is cutting this hyena off tonight. He said no more. He ain't gonna give her no more of his money. He ain't gonna give her no more of his the sex. That's over. All of that is over. So Rhoda, if you're listening to him today, you need to remove his photos off of your Facebook. Steve, I do have someone you can reach out to where you can actually file something against her for keeping that on there. Because if you're not engaged to her and you can tell him that, they'll be able to help you move a little bit faster with getting your pictures taken down. So guys,
yeah.
I hope that
Wait
you
a
guys
minute.
enjoyed the show. Go ahead.
Take Daphne's advice and comment under there. My Cash App is B1 code. B as in black
Put it in the
first.
comments. Put it in the
Okay.
comments. Put it in the comments. Guys, when
And
this
I just
show is
want to
over,
thank everybody.
and guys, again, these two women didn't ask me for anything. They said they did not mind. Steve said he did not mind. If Steve was a scammer, he would have told me I'm going to need payment first. And then we would have
Right.
had bigger problems. I want you guys to know that none of these people have asked me for anything. They haven't, because they just wanted to hold this person accountable. Now, Steve didn't know the extent of what Rhoda has done because he's in another place. He's not watching her TikToks and watching her do all this stuff. So understand that this is new to him too, y'all. So there's no need to call him a simp. There's no need to call him, pussy whipped or nothing like that. Because now that he knows all this information, he just said he was going to cut her off. Now, Steve, I will say this because I do respect you. Okay. If you tell me that you're cutting her off and you don't, you're not going to like me after that, Steve. I won't have any respect for you. And you being a Freemason, saying that you're taught to be honest, I'm also someone that you don't want to lie to either. So if you cut her off and then she posts on her Twitter that you still want the pussy or something, then we're gonna have a bigger problem. So if you cut her off, do it in writing and go on her Facebook and go on that post and say, I need you to remove my photos. I'm not affiliated with you anymore. Steve, if you do that, then I know that you're serious. So I need you to show me proof that you're cutting this woman off, because anyone can tell me that. But if you don't bring any proof to it, then I'm gonna have to assume that you're a part of this scam, and I don't want to have to do that. Because just as I'm nice to you, I could be your worst nightmare, and that's all I'm saying. Even if you're in another country, I got connections all over. So I want you to know, Steve, I'm trusting what you're saying, but I need you to follow through with action. Because anyway, I know the booty had to be good because you were gonna wife this woman. So the booty had to be right for you because you gave her the ring. And that was after what, less than a year. So I want you, Steve, to prove it to me that you are done with this hyena today. Okay?
And
You
can
you
I
you
add
need to
one thing?
understand the level of damage. You need to understand the level of damage that a continuous communication or relationship with this woman can do to me and my career, right? So do you think I want to risk that? I'm not gonna
I
risk
hope
that
you
for no amount of money, whatever it is. So definitely I'm cutting that off. I already got her blocked on WhatsApp. I'm gonna actually comment on our Facebook page because I'm not even friends with her on Facebook page, so I didn't realize that my pictures were on our Facebook page. So, but I'll put a comment out there and then let's see what that can.
Thank you, Steve. Y'all hear Steve? Steve said, do you think I would want this woman to ruin me? No, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm taking what he's saying with truth. I honestly feel so. Steve, do me a favor. Go to her Facebook, go to her most recent post, and just put that so that you have that written down that you told her to please take down your photo. You are not affiliated with her. And that's just being professional. Because I'd be a bitch about it. I say, listen, you big, big bitch, but I'll probably get reported. So, Steve, let her know that you don't want your pictures on her page and that you guys are not affiliated. I think that will be enough because she'll see that. So I'm glad that. And then when you do that, you can then go ahead and block her.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, Steve, we
yeah,
good? Her
absolutely.
name on. You know what, Shauna? How did I forget her Facebook name? Is it Ro Bashi? What is it?
Robashi or
Is it R
Bashay.
A? It's RHO. Okay, so her Facebook name, guys, is RHO. Then space BASHE. Is that right, Shauna?
That's correct.
Okay, that is her Facebook name. Again, RHO space BASHE. And you'll see that she has been actively posting from her account. So, Steve, put that comment in there. And then, like I said, guys, thank you so much for attending. This week is still going to be filled with some more drama. I do have some more stuff that I am going to drop, but I'm not going to be talking about Rhoda every day. So you might get her every other day because I've been getting so much stuff from other people and I'm neglecting what I usually do. Okay. So, guys, I want to say thank you to everyone on this panel. I appreciate all of you guys. And October, I think is October still out there? I want to apologize to October because just like me calling myself the queen of accountability, I too have to hold myself accountable. October wasn't talking about me when they said that I was loud. I did not see the initial comment where, or the person said I wasn't talking about Daphne. I saw it on the third comment. So know that even though I'm on this panel, I don't see every comment. StreamYard only allows me to see certain comments, like the last 20 or whatever it could be. So October, I thought you were talking about me and I was ready for war, and I apologize for thinking that you were talking about me. But next time you say that, put the name of who you're talking about, because it's easy for me to think it's me when I'm loud. I'm naturally loud. So sorry about that. What else was I gonna say? Let me see. There was somebody else that said something in the comments too. But anyways, guys, that's her Facebook. Be careful what you post. She will report you. And Facebook will put you on a 30-day ban. If it's not, if it's not your first offense, you may go on a ban. So don't ruin your page by saying something to her, knowing she's gonna report it. You have to misspell the words in order for it to go through. So if you call her a bitch, you have to spell it with numbers too. Instead of an I, do a 1. These are things I'm learning now. You can't call her a hyena. You'll be reported. You have to use a 3 instead of an E. So guys, just know that I'm thankful for 10,000 subscribers. It took me a while to get here, and I got here. So I want to say thank you to those who support me holding men and women accountable. Because if Steve was involved in this, Steve would have been the headline of this show too. But he isn't. He isn't involved in this. This man works in the medical field, and I know he would not risk years of education for some pussy. I hope he wouldn't. Most doctors would not, because they know their future is bright. You'll find other beautiful women that are actually like you, Nigerian, that know how to support and love you. But I want you guys to know that Rhoda will be held accountable. I will not let this woman get away with lying on our black men. And to the black men that this has damaged, I'm sorry that this has hurt you. But know that these black women like me and Rachel and Shauna and Gail at Night, we got your back. We just need more women to stand up. You're going to have the Cynthia G's who want to profit being a negative bitch, but you also have the good women like us who are going to love you and not care about your imperfections. So guys, I want to say thank you for attending today, and I'm going to be out. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for everything you do, Daphne.
You are so welcome. Thank you guys too.
Thank you. Have a good day.